Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever Cleveland Pulse broadcast of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. Alongside my partner, Jeffrey Santa, I'm Logan LeDuc. We got Cavs and Rockets tonight in Cleveland. Cavaliers, losers of two straight, trying to avenge a loss to Houston just a few days ago. The big news, what we're going to start out with, the guy that we've all been missing, the guy that we now see if we didn't see it before, Evan Mobley, how important he is to this team. Back in the starting lineup tonight. Jeffrey, how you doing? How you feeling about the Mobley news?
I'm doing well, and the Mobley news, I feel a lot better than I have the previous couple of games. Honestly, at the end of the day, I said it yesterday in the upload I put out, I really think that these last couple of games have just proven that Evan Mobley is the most valuable player on this roster so far into the season, just over the halfway mark. He's back tonight. Exciting, but we're going to hold our breath. Hopefully this is not rushed, Logan. You're in a perfect opportunity to be able to manage these injuries correctly. They've been doing so all season at such a high level. I don't expect anything to change regarding that manner, but at the end of the day, it is a nagging injury that, he's dealing with. So we hope that there's no setbacks, of course.
Yeah, when it comes to Evan, you're talking about a Cavalier team that in January, if I can pull up the numbers real quick. We're doing this all on the fly, by the way, guys. Let's start there. Why are we doing this, right? You can watch this on any streaming service you want, on TV, whatever you want to do. This is for anybody that wants something different, wants to come hang out, wants to talk Cavaliers basketball with a couple of fans. Whether this is seen by 2 people, 20 people, 200 people, 2,000, whatever. Probably will never see those numbers. We're doing this for you guys to come join us and hang out with us. And for me, I went to school at Ohio University. I went and did broadcast journalism over there. If nothing else, if 0 people, if my mom and, over there decides to watch this, great. This is just to have some fun and to kind of explore both me and Jeffrey's interests. Jeff, if you want to elaborate more on, why we decided to do this in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people that watch the Pulse and, tune into our stuff, and we're appreciative of everyone. Obviously, if you're filing in now, make sure you're hitting that like button, make sure you subscribe down below. But I don't think me and Logan talk about it a lot. We talk about, the St. Edward High School connection and us be going to high school together, but I don't know if a lot of people have ever heard me and you talk about broadcasting a sports game. So it's both.
All we do is whine. We just whine and moan.
All we do is complain and just talk about the Cavs. But yeah, I mean, me and Logan both have, backgrounds in broadcasting. I was the a color commentator at the college I went to for 2 seasons of men's and women's basketball. And Logan has experience with it in the past as well. And part of what he went to school for. So, it's just something we've always wanted to do. We've been trying to get it set up all season, and the schedule's finally aligned here on the Saturday night. Cavs Rockets should be a good one.
Yeah, this is months, of planning really. With the content we come out with, we have our Cleveland Pulse, we have our Cavs Encapsulated. We have game recaps and feature videos and things of that nature, and we even have lives that we used to do, and I'm sure we'll try to get more into those again. But we thought, what is different? What can we do that's a little different? And Jeffrey and I have talked about this for 2 months. We've had a couple of games that kind of meshed and then they didn't. And, we're glad we can bring it here. But talking about this Cavaliers-Rockets game, the Cavaliers in the month of January ranked 25th right now in defensive rating. Not something we're used to the last couple of years of Cavaliers basketball. You got to imagine part of that is Mobley over the last couple of games. But for the most part, the Cavaliers have been outscoring teams this year. But now, Jeffrey, I am personally excited about a 2-game losing streak. This is a situation with the Cavaliers. They haven't lost 3 in a row all season. They have obvious wrinkles and cracks right now that are showing in otherwise has been a very dominant season. But how do the Cavaliers respond, right? Is Mobley the answer? Is there more to it? If you could talk more about the defensive intensity, because these Rockets, they're tough to play with. Yeah,
honestly, I think you said it, and people might be sitting at home saying, well, what's there to get excited about? 2-game losing streak. It's been terrible these last 2 games. We've had it so lucky this season so far with such a great start, and the unprecedented nature of this season's campaign has really kicked off and has carried us all the way through, the halfway point of the season. But you have to learn in these losses. You can't go the whole season without facing any adversity and expect that things are going to go well for you in the postseason and beyond. So it's interesting to see how Atkinson is really, diagnosed these losses and what he's going to do moving forward. Yesterday, Yeah, I mean, I had some blatant criticism for him yesterday. I thought he could have been a little bit better in that game, especially down the stretch. And, it was a tough one to lose. But I think it's an opportunity that, hey, maybe we kind of lost our humility, lost that ability to be humble. We took the 76ers team lightly. Sure, we have injuries ourselves, but at the end of the day, you have to assume that everyone is going to throw their best at you. You're the number one record in the Eastern Conference. You're the number one seed in the your best record in the league. So you have to take every game that people are going to be trying super, super hard to beat you and knock you off, so they could be able to say, oh, well, that Cavaliers team, they're not all what they're cracked up to be, even through almost 50 games this season.
Yeah, and these Rockets, and you talk about the game a couple of games ago, wild game. This one came down to the stretch. Cavaliers had a chance there at the end to steal it on a 3-point attempt. Darius Garland shot. He was also a flagrant one, officially is what was called. Had 3 free throws at the line. Personally, for me, in my experience in playing basketball, I hate when nobody is around me in the lanes. I find it more pressure to make a free throw. That's just me. Garland's a 90% free throw shooter. Like Jeffrey tweeted out, Garland will be the first one to admit, that he really he didn't execute at the line in that game, and it came down to 1-point loss. This was a hell of a game, and Cavaliers have a lot to right for sure. And I think tonight you got to be feeling kind of that in the air. The Cavaliers are ready to go. This Rockets team ranks first in rebounds per game. A guy like Evan Mobley is going to help that. Opponent points per game, 4th. They only give up 107.8 a game. This is defense meeting offense right now. So far, the Cavaliers offense, even the last few games, I wouldn't say you've had a whole lot to complain about. Donovan had some troubles with efficiency the last few games. Obviously, the Cavaliers did everything right on that side of the ball against Philly. We give up 132 points and come out with a loss. What is the key tonight? What would you say your 3 keys are to tonight's game, Jeffrey?
3 keys is, truthfully, I haven't heard anything about a minutes restriction for Mobley, but I want to see him get involved as soon as possible. If he's out there, get him involved, run the offense through him. That's going to be key number 1. Key number 2, I think it was a coin flip. If we're talking about the last Rockets game on who the better coach was, I think Kenny has to be the better coach tonight. We're in an interesting era in the NBA, Logan, where it's, the coaching perception has taken a 180, in my opinion. When it was super teams and when it was studs all across the roster in your big 3 era, the coaches, it really didn't matter who was at the helm. Now we're seeing a lot of franchises, a lot of organizations be revitalized through coaching changes. It's great example here tonight, again in the rematch, but Atkinson against Udoka, great coaching matchup in my opinion, as far as how this season is shaping out. And number 3 is go with the game flow, like ride the hot hand, do what makes sense. If Jerome is 8 for 8 for 3 again, let's make sure he gets the ball down the stretch. If Strus has made all of his threes, or whoever is feeling the best within the offense, you have to go to in this contest tonight. We've done it all year, and that's how we've gotten to this record. And I'm going to put a little PS because I'm noticing something on my screen. Let's shut down Sengun tonight. Absolutely not. Revenge game. The tensions are going to be high in this game. I fully expect them to be, and I expect you guys out there in the audience to be along for the ride.
Absolutely. Well, right now on the screen, they're announcing the Cavaliers starting 5. It's the starting 5 from last year, Jeffrey. Does it look different under Kenny Atkinson? Dean Wade, knee injury. Not sure the severity of it. I don't know if the Cavaliers do know yet. We're going to have to find out soon enough. But the Cavaliers are going to be in their road wine uniforms. By the way, hate wearing wine when we're the home team. That's just me. That's just me.
That's just my
expert opinion. But yeah, Darius Garland at the 1, Donovan at the 2, Max Strus fills in at the 3. Mobley and Allen, Tower City reunited down low for the Cavaliers. Kenny Atkinson, his first season as Cavaliers head coach, recently named an all-star head coach. An assistant Cavalier coach will also get a nod with the 4-team format, I suppose, is what I'm hearing. Meanwhile, for the Rockets, Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green fill out the backcourt. Dillon Brooks, that pesky Dillon Brooks, over at 3. Amen Thompson in at the 4, and Alfred Şengün fills in the 5. Now, when you talk about Amen Thompson, this is a guy that's 6'7". His brother Asar over in Detroit. Both are really known for their defense and rebounding. Yep. Rebounding, big key tonight to me, Jeffrey. We'll see what happens. It should be an exciting one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it all year, and I think that's something you would agree about. Their losses, they've struggled with physicality. They've struggled with length and physicality coupled with aggression. if a team is going to be, back on their heels, the Cavs are going to take advantage of. So let's hope that we start off hot here tonight against Houston.
Folks, we appreciate you joining us here on the first ever Cleveland Pulse broadcast. Thing that sucks, there's no crowd noise. There's no atmosphere per se.
We'll have to get it done.
We need some tweaks, no doubt about it. We're kind of doing it live here, as one would say. But we're so glad whoever's aboard, whoever's listening to this down the road. And thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a fun one. Cavs and Rockets as the two teams will take onto the court. Rockets in their home white uniforms lined in red. Şengün and Allen will be the two guys to tip here in just a moment. But here we go. I mean, this is exciting. Anybody who's tuning in again, we really appreciate you guys. It's time for some Cavaliers basketball.
Absolutely.
Now, Jeffrey and I are currently trying to line up our streams, by the way, so we're watching this on very intently. Allen and Şengün will meet at center court. The official steps into the Cavalier logo, pointing at Mitchell. I'm trying to give Jeffrey some keys here. We have a delay. The ball's in the air. The tip is won by the Rockets or the Cavs. Donovan comes away with it. We're underway. Cavaliers will start out as Mitchell. Step back two on the way is good as Mitchell. String music on the right wing.
Have you felt like he's kind of been taking a different approach, Logan, since some of the allegations that he's been having a rough go this month? He started off hot these past couple of games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how Donovan operates, right? You kind of see how he feels in that first quarter, and he goes from there. As Van Vliet has it high in the left, he's watched by Mitchell. Şengün will set the screen on Mitchell's left hip. Van Vliet now drives in on Mobley, gets to the foul line. Fall away, two from the baseline is up and off, and Donovan comes away with it. Mitchell and the Cavaliers move left to right. Donovan into the forecourt, takes a high screen from Allen. Mitchell off that screen, fires a three. He's got it. Donovan Mitchell. The first five, Cleveland leads 5-0.
And you see the Evan Mobley difference right away. Defensive stop, mismatch, gets onto Van Vliet, can cover the guard. Donovan with the first 5 points.
As Amen Thompson responds on the other end, he goes inside, lays it home with the right hand. The lead is 5-2. We're just 1 minute into this ball game as Darius Garland will walk it in past the timeline, send it over to Evan Mobley high on the right side. Mobley looks over the defense, looks inside for Strus. Strus to the right corner, Mitchell. He uncorks another. Donovan Mitchell! Somebody stop me. He's got 8. He's outscoring the Rockets by himself early on.
Donovan Mitchell 8, Houston Rockets 2. And does Şengün just get dumped there, Logan?
He sure did. Love it. I think we're going to see Şengün on his wallet a few times tonight. These Cavaliers, I think maybe a little bit of animosity was formed a couple of days ago between the bigs and Şengün, as well as the fans, including us.
Absolutely.
Şengün is on his wallet again. This time, Allen's get called for a block. Now, who was the foul on the first time? Was it on Mobley?
That's a good question there. Might have to consult the box score. I like that, though. I like that. That's really not like a strategically good foul as far as the game of basketball, but all right, maybe 2 fouls back to back isn't the greatest, but
that first one was ridiculous.
I'd rather have you set the tone on your terms first than let them control it.
Jalen Green, that ball's just about in the building. That's it. As he shot it long, it ricochets out to Van Vliet, who fires a 3, hits front iron. Strus comes away with it. Cavaliers back the other way. Darius, right wing, watched by Dylan Brooks. As Mobley tries to get position over on Van Vliet in the post. Mobley turns towards the baseline. He's on the right baseline. Mobley backing in into Van Vliet. He gets inside. Ball's knocked off of his foot, I believe. Wow. They call Cavaliers ball. Thought that one was knocked off Mobley's foot.
Me too, absolutely. And honestly, I'll be curious to see how long Ime Udoka has a string for these guys, because this is just a putrid start for Houston. Not even getting competent looks on the offensive end. I'd be calling a timeout pretty soon here if I was him, because they're all out of sorts on that end.
Yeah, swarming defense so far for Cleveland as Mitchell will throw it in on the near side, right side of the floor. Mitchell gets it into Mobley. He hands it right back off to Donovan. It's off his knee. He picks it back up, and they're going to call this a kicked ball. I don't know about that. It's a Tony Brothers crew, by the way, Jeffrey.
Oh, geez.
So the professionals we have to be here tonight, we're going to have to keep it all together.
Tony Brothers, he's an experienced referee in this league. That's all I'll say.
A lot of bad experience. Alfred Şengün, he hands it off to Jalen Green. Green down the middle of the paint. He looks inside to Şengün, who throws it up. He's fouled. Strus wants it to be on the floor. I think Strus argues just about every call, and it always makes me laugh. But Şengün earns a trip to the line for 2.
So you're not even so here's the thing. Here's to everybody out there. take a little note of how the team was coached last year, the Cavaliers, versus what you were seeing in the first not even 3 minutes of this game. Şengün we have fouled him 3 times and not even the first 3 minutes of this contest after he, pushed us around the other night. Atkinson knows, the film shows for itself. Yes, however you want to feel about the refs, it's something that we can control moving forward in this game, and I expect to see it all night.
Yeah, he pushed, elbowed, tripped, just about every single action he could have done, he did. As he made his first one, the second one is now on its way, and it's good. Cuts the lead to 4, Cavaliers 8, Rockets 4, as Cleveland trying to build on this lead. Darius will walk it into the forecourt. 9:37 to play, first quarter. Strus takes the cut, goes inside, goes to the basket, goaltending at the rim as Şengün was late to the basketball.
I'd have to look at our previous box scores, Logan, but we just haven't been getting out to that first quarter hot start that has been, a staple and a pattern of this team's identity for the entirety of the year. It'd be nice to get back on track with that tonight.
And that's what you want to see, though. Do they rely on that quick, that quick beginning, or is there other ways to win the ball game? And that's definitely something they have to watch for. As the Cavaliers force a turnover, Mitchell walks it into the forecourt. Donovan off the screen from Allen fires a bomb. No, it's off on the right side of the rim, and Thompson tracks it down for Houston. He'll bring it forecourt. Thompson looked on by Mobley. Thompson, the dribble, backs it out. Doesn't really have anywhere to go. He drives in on Mobley. Mobley, a good contest at the rim, and that ball is off the front of the rim and out. Back comes Cleveland. Darius into the forecourt quickly. Garland down the middle of the lane. Now he'll back it out to the right corner. Darius looks inside. Allen got position on Şengün. He's fouled. I love that from Jared Allen as he put Şengün right on his hip, kept him at bay like a school bully.
At one, second time this game already, Logan. Evan Mobley, there might not be a better matchup in the association to have Evan Mobley available for than this Rockets team. Switching everything, able to guard 1 through 5. Houston in the West, Boston in the East, in my opinion, is the best matchup for Evan Mobley. Jared Allen keeps his presence known on the offensive end.
Absolutely. As Darius uncorks a 3, it's off back iron. Houston, the rebound, they push. It's Dillon Brooks into the forecourt. Dillon Brooks picks up his dribble on the left side. Now he bounces it in low for Şengün, who has the matchup on Strus, kicks it back out to Brooks, back into Şengün. Şengün, cross-court feed to Jalen Green. One more, Van Fleet, open, triple, good. As Fred Van Fleet knocked down 7 triples against Cleveland just a few nights ago, he's been a problem. One of those original Cavalier killers. Van Fleet has really come into his own in the league. It's a 10-7 game as Donovan gets downhill. Now he'll back it out. 8:15 to play in the first quarter. 12 on the shot clock to work with. Allen turns towards the paint, goes inside. He dribbled it off his foot. Out of bounds, back to Houston.
A little bit sloppy with the basketball here. And, the first quarter of the first quarter, first 4 minutes of the contest, couple of turnovers that just didn't really seem like they were totally forced. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell kicking it out of bounds, and then Jared Allen right there.
Yep. So now back the other way. Rockets turn it back over. Donovan, a 3-on-3, throws it ahead to Garland. Garland lays it home. Cleveland 12, Rockets 7.
And Logan, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but I kind of like how this is formulating here. You have to win sloppy in the NBA sometimes. Neither team extremely sharp to start. It's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this game unfolds.
As Jalen Green back the other way, comes off a screen, and he pockets the triple, makes it 12-10. These Houston Rockets, they get up and down the floor quickly. They don't really waste any time off a made basket. As Donovan, he floats it up over Şengün. It rims off. Thompson, another rebound. And yeah, like I said, they push right down the floor. Thompson on the right wing. Looked on by Mobley, sends it outside to Şengün. Şengün thought 3, thought better. Now off to Van Vliet. Van Vliet, left baseline. Bounces it in low for Thompson underneath. Now Thompson backs it out. The handoff to Green. Green, one more to Thompson. Thompson lost the basketball. Got it back to Van Vliet. Free for 3. Yes. Rockets take the lead 13-12. They're starting to get some good looks, Jeffrey, those looks that weren't there early on.
And that was, that's just the story of the NBA on defense sometimes. The Cavs played 20, 21 good seconds of defense, had a little breakdown at the end, and it was a wide open shot for Fred.
On the other end, Houston commits a foul. The Cavaliers and the Rockets in a little bit of a shootout early on. As they're taking a break on the broadcast, Jeffrey, let's go ahead and talk about the first 5.5 minutes of this game.
Absolutely. And I got something here. Let me see here. I got a scoreboard here that we could reference. I wasn't sure if we wanted it for the whole broadcast or if we just wanted it for strategic times. Let me get that pulled up here for the audience. And honestly, Logan, like I said, right before the break there, a little bit of a sloppy start. I would like to see Evan Mobley, the offense work through Evan Mobley a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I understand that Donovan Mitchell gets off to that hot start, but it seemed like there were some possessions after that where he was forcing the issue a little bit. Maybe we could have got better looks. Evan Mobley's back in your lineup. He's doing everything you're expecting him to do on the defensive end. Let's work the offensive hub through him a little bit. And it's been like this for a while. Me and you have talked about this.
Yeah.
Go work on the interior, work inside out. I think that's been our bread and butter and what has propelled us to such a good record to start. The guards shooting, and then, maybe we'll get Allen and Mobley involved, I think is an inferior, offensive game plan.
I tend to agree. And I will say this much. I mean, overall, I don't think we've even been able to identify or establish an inside out, outside in so far. Cavaliers are playing kind of sloppy right now. It's been back and forth, not many half-court offensive sets for either team, but Houston, when they have gotten those half-court sets, they're passing right through the Cavalier defense, finding good looks.
This is very true. A lot of, like I said, sloppy basketball, kind of winning frantically. It's something that this team needs to learn how to do and something they've done, this season so far, but I wouldn't expect this to continue for the rest of the game. I'm hoping we get settled in a little bit here. It's hard to get structured, plays started and things of that nature, like you said. So we'll get to see how it happens out of this timeout, and we'll get to see how the offensive game plan for both teams develops during this contest.
So right now, let's see, 6:49 to play in the first quarter. Rockets 13-12 lead over the Cavaliers. Cavaliers got out to that 10-4 start. Got good looks, got what they wanted. And yeah, Houston just kind of pushes back. So Cavaliers trying to, get off the schneid here at 12 points after that Garland breakaway that went down for just a moment. If you want to get on the FanDuel live money lines, Rockets plus 142, Cavaliers minus 184.
Not sponsored.
not sponsored in the slightest. No. Total points, 231.5. What do you think, Jeffrey? You want over under on that?
Let's go over. Just because Cavs are off back-to-back, might have tired legs in the second half.
The way the defense has been playing, I would also go over.
You got Mobley back, though. Hey, he's been honestly, I've been pretty thrilled with this, this opening salvo of defensive possessions because, the Rockets have gotten good looks. Sure, they have the 1-point lead, but I feel like it's not like we've had any total breakdowns thus far.
We're back as George Niang and Ty Jerome have checked in the game. Mobley, left corner three. It's no good. Ball in the air. Ty Jerome trying to get a second chance. He does as Jerome reels in the rebound. Max Strus off the three-point line, goes on the middle of the paint, floats it up, floats it in. Cavaliers 14, Rockets 13, 6.5 to play first quarter.
We'll get to see how Atkinson kind of develops these rotations. I think it's the first time throughout the season that he's struggled these last two losses. So we'll get to see how he goes into his bag. You have Niang and you have Jerome here. So something to monitor moving forward.
On the other end, Dylan Brooks was fouled going up for a dunk. He missed the dunk. The foul is going to be on Darius Garland. Darius almost got up there to block Brooks at the basket.
That was competitive. I thought it was clean.
It was close. I didn't see a whole lot of contact, I would say.
We know DG could dunk, but not often.
Who could ever forget the fight between Dylan Brooks and Donovan Mitchell a couple of years ago on that baseline? Brooks trying to go low. Donovan said, "I'll put you on the ground." That was a lot of fun as Dylan Brooks' first free throw is gone.
Looked like WWE out there.
Oh, undoubtedly. No doubt about it. As Dylan Brooks cashes in both, Rockets retake the lead 15-14. As we're coming up on 6 minutes to play in the first quarter, Evan Mobley with the basketball. Mobley, the high handoff to Darius Garland. Garland works off that screen. Darius gets middle of the paint, trying to lose Green. He does a series of moves. Oh, Darius Garland able to tip in his own miss. That's an impressive athletic play by Darius.
Good persistence there. I love the initial move. He blew the layup, but he got it back.
And to the corner it goes to Amen Thompson. Looked on by Ty Jerome. Thompson crosses him over, gets in the paint, drop off to Şengün. Şengün on the baseline, turns towards the basket, lays it up and in as he goes reverse on Mobley. It's a good move from Şengün.
Loves playing us. We're going to have to add him to the Cavalier killer list, Logan. I know it's early, but
at this point, though, he's an established star. It's hard to make the Cavalier killer list when you have an established name. As Ty Jerome throws it away, Brooks into the forecourt, goes right in the body of Mobley as he shoved around, missed the layup. Mobley right there to collect the rebound. He sends it left side to Garland. Garland lobs it up. Evan Mobley, the two-hand dunk. That's beautiful basketball. Beautiful two-man game.
Love it.
18-17 Cavs, 5:12 to play on a ticking first quarter clock. Cavaliers attacking the paint early with Mobley back in the lineup. Şengün, he picks up his dribble in the low post on Mobley. He spins away and scores, but I don't know how he has 3 feet, but he's able to score. I don't know. What do I know? That looked like Mobley had them all bottled up, and suddenly he had a layup. As Garland works off a high screen
Sure
for
did.
Mobley, Garland floats it up. That one dribbles around the rim and out. And back come the Rockets. Jalen Green with 4:44 to play in the first quarter. His Rockets have 1-point lead. He's maxed up with Strus. Now it's back to Green. Green drives in on Mobley, goes to the basket, lays it home.
That's a good move.
Yeah, it is. And you have to respect it. You got it just beyond the outstretched arm of Mobley. As the Cavaliers out there with Garland, Strus, Jerome, Niang, and Mobley. Niang puts it on the floor. He thought about shooting a mid-range jumper. I don't know, last time I saw George Niang shoot a mid-range jumper. Nonetheless, he's fouled. The question is, do they call it on the floor or in the act of shooting?
Looked like in the act of shooting to me, but you make a very astute observation there.
Never seen him shoot mid-range shot.
No disrespect to Mr. Niang, but it's either that it's either that little in the paint hook runner that he's kind of developed this year, or the three.
I gotta give him credit. Yeah, he knocks it down at a pretty good clip. They're gonna say it's not in the act of shooting. Cavaliers will throw it in far side of the floor. They get it in for Jared Allen out high. Now Allen dribbles it over to the right wing to hand off to Garland. Garland at the foul line stops, pops off the front of the rim. Garland collects his own miss. Try to flub it in low to Merrill, who's just checked in for the Cavaliers. Ball squirts out to the right side where Darius collects. Garland put a series of moves on Van Fleet, splitting defenders, kinks it left side. Jerome, 3 on the shot clock. Jerome, the floater, good. That Chai Jerome floater has been good all season.
Another seemingly ugly position. A good look. That's all you can ask for. A little bit too much dribbling on the part of Darius on that possession, in my opinion, but it gets to the right guy and he makes it count.
Rockets 21, Cavaliers 20, 3:45 to play first quarter. As this is Şengün in low, he flops his arms out to the side. It was tipped away by the Cavaliers. Back comes Brooks down the middle of the paint, goes in the body of Allen, scores. These Rockets are finishing some tough layups. Good contest at the rim by the Cavaliers. Rockets just putting it in the basket. As Jerome back the other way floats it up, it rims off.
Missing some easy ones at the rim.
Truly. And it's exact opposite on this side of the basketball as Van Fleet, he scoots around his defender, gets in low Tari Easton, the offensive rebound, lays it back up and in. Rockets 25, Cavaliers 20. Cleveland will call a timeout with 3:17 to play in the first quarter.
And to me, Logan, I think Atkinson is upset there because they've just totally given up the integrity of the interior of the paint on at least back-to-back possessions. Maybe, well, even the Jalen Green layup as well. A good move on his part to be able to score over Mobley. But Atkinson's calling a timeout there saying, hey, guys, they're getting too much interior pressure, too much, deep down low, not boxing out down there. Van Fleet takes kind of a wild shot. Rebound comes to a Rockets player, and he lays it right back up and in. But got to just make sure that we're stopping the point of attack on some of these defensive possessions.
Yeah, I agree. You got to meet them at the wing. Once these Rockets get downhill, it seems like all of them just collapse because they're the number one rebounding team in the league. They just have a force of habit of going to the basket, and they're, I just think there's too many white shirts underneath, not enough wine to either collect a miss or contest a shot.
And I mean, credit to Van Fleet. He's been an undrafted, superstar in this league for over, I think over 9 seasons now, maybe creeping up on his 10th season, decade in the league. So he's an experienced guy. He was a plus acquisition for them, in my opinion. I think he's someone who is stable, rights the ship, knows what he's doing, consistent on the offensive end of the basketball, real professional, and someone who the Rockets roster and their locker room can kind of look up to. Something you're going to have to deal with if you're on the Cavaliers side. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts because it seemed like Şengün was really highlighted, part of the game plan in a huge way the first couple of minutes of the game, and then it seemed like we got away from that, and he's been a little bit more impactful here before the second time out.
At the end of the day, as I can hate on him all I want as far as his BS in the last game, but I mean, Şengün is a talent. He is a good player. He's a guy that's going to find a way to score, whether, he is good at using his body to come up with the very best opportunities. So, I mean, it is just the way it goes. But I will say, back on Van Vliet, he's kind of one of those guys that bridges the gap between role player and all-star, right? Like, I'm not comparing the two, but think of a guy like Monte Ellis. Like, never all-star, but was always one of those names that you had to worry about. I'm sure there's plenty of other players in the NBA that I can't come up with right now because we're so focused on the Cavaliers at the moment. But he is that kind of player where you're like, oh, it's Fred VanVleet. Yeah, it's Fred VanVleet. I'll never forget Game 6, 2019 in Raptors and Warriors, where he took over in the fourth quarter, knocking down 4 triples. Like, he's not scared of the big moment. I think that's what makes him really, really good, and that's why he was such a good addition to this Rockets team. Just somebody to really settle down and run the offense appropriately.
Absolutely.
So we are back. Rockets and Cavs, if you're just joining us, if there's anybody here listening, this is the first ever Cleveland Pulse broadcast of a Cavaliers game. We decided to pick this one. Cavaliers looking for some vengeance tonight, trying to avenge a loss from a couple nights ago to these Rockets in Houston. Rockets with a 25-20 lead as we go up on 3:10 to play in the first quarter. Jerome with the basketball, drives, has Eason on his left hip, kicks to the right corner. It's Niang, free to fire. Got it! George Niang from downtown. That's a good sign.
Yes, it is. Good kick out by Jerome. Good stroke by Niang. 3 points for the Cavaliers.
Cleveland down just 2, under 3 to play now first quarter. Steven Adams has checked into the game for Houston. He hands it off to VanVleet, trying to work off of Allen. He has him on his right hit, kicks to the corner. Now it's Thompson. Thompson in low. Adams is open for a moment. Cavaliers, good foul underneath by Niang from behind. Steven Adams, not exactly known for his free throw shooting.
Yeah, make him earn it at the line. I think it's another thing you could attribute Kenny Atkinson to, and I've somewhat discussed it all season, but just strategic fouls. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of physicality that leads to a favorable or high percentage outcome on your side.
Cam Whitmore also into the game now for Houston. As Steven Adams' first free throw, around the rim and out.
There you go. Well, already missed one. High quality fouls. The little things, doing the little things at a high level means a lot if you want to have championship aspirations, in my opinion.
Absolutely, as he misses both. So the Cavaliers, good foul, leads them back the other way, trailing by 2. 2:37 to play, first quarter. Ty Jerome sends it left side to Merrill, trying to come off that curl, back to Jerome. Now Jerome off the screen from Allen, free for a moment, so he shoots a 3. It's well short. Ball falls into VanVleet's legs. He picks it up, gives it off to Eason, to the right corner to Whitmore. Whitmore, not bashful, fires it. No, Adams. Offensive board right in on Allen underneath, lays it up, no good. And we're going to have a foul here. It's hard to tell when I don't have any audio to see what's going on, but it sounds like they called a loose ball foul on Steven Adams, so I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So Cavaliers regain possession, trailing 25-23 in this game. By the way, we're going to call this a radio broadcast, a TV broadcast. It's not really a TV broadcast. We're trying to give you as much of the description and picture as we can throughout this game, but I'm a little rusty. It's been a little while since I've done one of these.
Cavaliers watch party.
Yeah, that's what we're calling this. As Mitchell pulls up from the foul line, it hits off left iron. Back comes the Rockets off the rebound from Eason. VanVleet forecourt, under 2 to play now, first quarter. VanVleet works off the screen from Adams, gets to the left of the lane, throws it inside to Cam Whitmore, who rises and punches with 2 hands. Rockets 27, Cavaliers 23.
Yeah, still the interior, letting the basketball get too far down, down deep in the defense. Still a little bit concerning, but let's see if the Cavs get it in order here.
Yeah, what does Austin Carr say? Meet him at the point of attack.
Absolutely. What about deep in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse?
Deep in the rock. Throws the hammer down. That's all you got to say, Jeffrey. That's your job. You just got to come with the witty catchphrases. I have all the pressure here.
Witty catchphrases and complain about the refs once in a while.
That's right. Or if Anthony Bennett's playing, why do that? That's my favorite Austin Carr.
Oh, geez. Shout out to AC, man.
The amount of times that I said, why do that about Anthony Bennett? Ty Jerome got fouled, by the way, everybody. Jerome is at the foul line. Jerome, an efficient season. 52% from the floor, 46% from deep, 11 points off that Cavalier bench. He's been a godsend for this team as he made his first one. The second one is up. Second one right through the net. So these Cavaliers a few times in this quarter got it down to 2. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And 33 against Philly the other night, a season high for him, career high. I expect that to be broken again this season.
8 of 8 from downtown. I mean, it was such a shame to waste that performance. As Adams, a half hook in the lane, that one goes over.
Did not know he had that in his bag.
Did not know that.
Fair enough.
Surprised by the shot myself. It's 29-25 Rockets. We come on 1:10 to play in the first. It's Allen, the handoff to Merrill. Merrill, bounce feed. Allen, floater in the lane. Hey, he says, if you can do it, Allen, Steve and I can do it as well.
Fair
as
enough.
Jared is good on the floater. 29-27. Now we're under a minute to play. Jalen Green drives inside. Good body control. He lays it home with the left hand right in on Allen.
This Rockets team, man, a lot of young, up and coming, high draft picks, a lot of athleticism, a lot of ability to finish at the rim. They're putting on full display here in this first quarter.
So Rockets lead by 4 now. 49 ticks left on a first quarter clock. It's Donovan high outside. Mitchell off the screen from Allen. Step back. I think it's a long 2. It's off the right of the rim anyway. Skying for the rebound as Cam Whitmore pushes the other way. Here they are in transition. Whitmore just shoves down Mitchell to the basket. Offensive foul is called.
Good call. Great referee right there on the spot. A little bit of a discombobulated possession, the offensive possession before for the Cavs, but yep, Whitmore just not a lot of body control there.
Simply out of control there.
He was easy call in the big leagues.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't notice it as much a couple of days ago, but they really do just push that basketball. I mean, they get that rebound, they get that stop, whatever, and they go. And Cleveland, hasn't really been up to the challenge of defending in semi-transition so far.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen a little bit of a role reversal here. I feel like, Cavs have struggled defending the 3-point shot, but 18 of the 31 first quarter points for the Rockets have come in the paint. So something that'll be a point of contention all night, I'm sure, for Atkinson and his coaching staff.
No doubt about it. As Ty Jerome off the high screen from Mobley lobs it in low. Mobley had to catch it, come down with it. Now he's got to work against the brick wall that is Steven Adams. He throws it away. Back comes Whitmore. 3-on-1. Brooks stops, pops left wing. Got it. 3-ball up and down for Dylan Brooks. They're going to call it a long 2. 33-27, 5 seconds left. Garland forecourt. Garland off the high screen from Mobley. Sends it off to Mitchell. Mitchell with 1, spins, throws it inside. They don't even get a shot off. Not the way you want to end the quarter there. As Garland had a look, Mitchell had a great look on the left wing. Too much dribbling, not enough realizing what the moment was. Not a great first quarter defensively for the Cleveland Cavaliers again.
Yeah, I mean, 33 points given up in the first. I'm just for the quarter segue. It just seems like it's not that their identities are lost on both ends. It just seems like there's something just a tick off. Yes. Like offensively, I feel like that possession was a prime example to end that quarter there. I feel like, even 10 games ago, that was a possession that we were scoring on a lot.
Agreed. Yeah.
And now we're a tick behind, we're a dribble behind, Mitchell kind of caught in the middle, which, is fine. But, the possession before kind of not a great look for Mobley, the possession before, in my opinion, as well. If we're going to be totally transparent, we're going to be critical of all things involved, not only for the audience, but just as two people watching a basketball game, even though we are Cavaliers fans. It's not that just talking about what we saw. I didn't like how he went away from the basket there. It wasn't a great passer. He mistimed his jump from the pass from Donovan, but he kind of takes it out away from down close to the hoop, and then it's a turnover going the other way. So 2 possessions that the Cavaliers wish they probably had back to end that quarter. Still a tight game here in Cleveland, so we'll see what the second quarter has in store for us here, Logan.
Yeah, that pass by Jerome was a little wide, and I get what you're saying. Mobley comes down with it, and honestly, I think that's the smart play. That thing was too wide to kind of make anything out of, but you would have liked to see him catch that ball and just go up strong. You realistically are going to get fouled. Adams is late recovering, coming towards you, and instead he spins away, gets himself in trouble, triple team basically there in the paint, and it leads to Dylan Brooks' jumper the other way. So it's 33-27 Rockets after 1. This Houston team, a surprise this season. Ime Udoka has done a fantastic job with these Rockets. Jalen Green has really developed. Elfrid Şengün, obviously. You bring in Fred VanVleet, and these Rockets are playing some good basketball. It's a tough team. And these Cavaliers, 14-2 versus the Western Conference. But if I'm not mistaken, they've lost 2 in a row. Is that correct? Lost to the Thunder and the Rockets, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Trying to end a few streaks today, if you want to call 2 streaks. We know a thing or two about good streaks this season, no doubt about it, as the broadcast is back on. So are we, as Austin Carr is getting talked to right now by Serena Winters.
Something to note here, Logan, and it's just part of the narrative and part of what we've been seeing recently in some of these games. But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mitchell he had 8 points in that first quarter. He was 3 for 7 from the field. I believe he made his first 3. So he's missed 4 in a row. Let's see how he bounces back moving into the second quarter.
We welcome you into the second quarter as the Rockets will start with possession of the basketball. It's Amen Thompson picking up his dribble off to Adams, back to Thompson out Ty. Now Thompson working against Mobley, dribbles around him. Now he's stuck in the paint. He traveled, shuffled those shoes. Tony Brothers, good call right there on the near side.
They call travels in the NBA?
Who would have thought? Tony Brothers. Those guys aren't too old yet. And it's a good call. That's a lot
Took
of shifting
multiple
on the feet.
steps.
Yep.
Multiple.
So back the other way come the Cavaliers. Ty Jerome takes a screen from Mobley, sends it left side. Mitchell thought three. Now he kicks to the corner. Open Niang. Got it from downtown.
And that's exactly what this offensive needed. Donovan passes up a good shot for a great shot. Niang cashes in 3-point on the board for that possession.
And that's what the Cavaliers have done well this season, passing up good shots for great shots. Perfect example of it there is Thompson back the other way for Houston across the lane, throws up a floater. It's through. Rockets 35, Cavaliers 30, 55 seconds into this second quarter. Ty Jerome out there with George Niang, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill had something of a comeback for a bit in that first half against Philly. He's been struggling with the shot a lot this season as Jerome nearly throws it away, but Mitchell regains it. 7 on the shot clock for Donovan to work with in the left wing. Gets to the foul line, spins away. He's got himself in trouble. 3 on the shot clock. Donovan goes towards the basket to it, and he gets blocked by Adams at the rim. Back comes Houston. Into the forecourt, it's Jalen Green. Green to the foul line, kicks left side. Now to the corner, it goes to Whitmore. Jerome nearly got that from behind. Instead, knocks out of bounds. Houston will retain the possession with 15 on the shot clock.
For everybody out there listening, you might hear this multiple times tonight, but I'm going to introduce it here. Logan, please give me a grade for Atkinson's lineup out there in your opinion, A through F.
They're small right now. You essentially have Merrill playing the 3. I think that brings his lineup to like a C overall. I mean, you got the difference makers in Jerome and Mitchell and Mobley and Niang, who's knocked down 2 triples in this game. But I think anytime, especially against a lanky team like the Rockets, that's not a good call, by the way, as Jalen Green will go to the line for 3 shots.
And the backstory of this for everybody listening is that Logan, just in the middle of the games, will text me or text our group chat and say, "Not a fan of this of this 5 out there right now." So I'm going to ask him about it.
And what
Atkinson
usually
mixes
happens?
it up. Yes, usually they go, the opposing team goes on a 8-0 or 10-0 run. Understandably so. You have to give credit to Atkinson for mixing it up, but some lineups they're just not it sometimes.
Well, and Atkinson's going to have to get creative. Obviously, no Dean Wade tonight, no Karis LeVert, no Isaac Okoro. You imagine we're going to see some Jalen Tyson minutes as Jerome takes a long 3. It's off the left iron and rebounded by Jayshawn Tate for the Rockets. Jayshawn Tate on the left wing drives in on Niang right to the basket, lays it home. It's more of the same, just driving to the hole and scoring. These Rockets, 22nd in the league in assists per game. You can see it so far in display. They can do it all themselves one-on-one. As Niang free to fire from the corner. He's got it again. George Niang. What a breath of fresh air. He cuts the lead to 6 on his 3rd triple. Cavaliers trailing 39-33, 9:50 to play second quarter.
George Niang is online and hearing about the trade rumors surrounding his name. He's been playing pretty good as of late. A lot of tired legs here, though, Logan. You can tell that the back-to-back is hurting us severely here. A lot of blow-bys, nobody moving their feet, a lot of easy looks in the paint for this Rocket squad.
Yeah, and a second chance opportunity just a moment ago as Rockets have made it 41-33. Jerome in low, lays it up, lits off. Jerome been struggling a little bit so far in the early going as Tate looks up high. Thompson tried to catch the lob. He had to double clutch it, missed the dunk, and the Cavaliers will push it the other way. See if they can cash in on the miss. Donovan drives in right on Adams' hip, lobs it up. It's no good off the back iron. Rockets push it back the other way. Thompson is 1-on-4. He says, I need some reinforcements. He'll back it out. It's Adams at the high point. Adams defended by Mobley. Gives it up to Jalen Green at the Cavalier logo. It's Green between the circles. Sends it off to Allen. Steven rumbling down the paint. Missed it. Got his own. Tipped it back home. Rockets now have extended their lead to the biggest margin of the night of 10, 43-33.
Like you're seeing a lot of dejected body language out there from the Cavaliers. And honestly, this is on a back-to-back. I'm going to bring it up again. You can't let this lead balloon too much here. You're going to not have a lot of gas to make a comeback here the deeper this game goes.
Yeah, Ahmad Thompson just like volleyball spiked that attempt by George Niang underneath the basket. So the Cavaliers will have it on the baseline, but you're exactly right. The Cavaliers can't dig themselves in a hole. You're already playing on second night of a back-to-back. You're not going to have the energy like you once did in a game like this. Like Austin Carr says, though, just get it to 10, right? And right now we're right at 10. So Garland off to Allen. He pulls up see, what are we doing? Those shots are not normal shots of the Cavaliers. A pull up from Allen. But we're going to have a loose ball foul on the Rockets. Cavaliers retain possession.
Tony Brothers keep, making sure that we get some of our calls as well. Tony Brothers very animated on that call.
Yeah, and thus far he's been actually pretty
Been
good.
fine. He'll sell something in the second half, but we'll let all the listeners know when that happens.
And we have a CPJ sighting.
Okay.
He's checked into the ball game for Cleveland, checking in for Ty Jerome. It's Garland, gets ahead of steam to the basket. Good drop off, and Allen with the dunk. I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten to get excited about a Cavalier possession.
And Craig Porter, someone who was a pretty big impact player last year, hasn't really played a lot this year due to some roster, adjustments and Ty Jerome being healthy, but getting some run here. I respect it and love it for Atkinson.
Well, and right on cue, he blocks Van Vliet on a three-point attempt. The Rockets will retain possession, but you love to see that athleticism. And CPJ, yeah, he's a difference maker. He's not played in big stretches. Everyone remembers how he played against Boston the first game. The first time they played Boston this season was a big reason why the Cavaliers got back in that ball game. Seeing some big minutes here with Jerome struggling. CPJ guarding Van Vliet. He drives, kicks it right side to Easton. That three ball was no good. It's batted out, grabbed by CPJ. Sends it up top to Merrill. Now it's CPJ, the lob to Allen. That one's wide of the mark. Maybe a little bit playing too fast for his own good there.
He's going to make those mistakes. Second-year player in the league. He's going to make simple mistakes like that. But honestly, Logan, I think Atkinson is maybe seeing some of the writing on the wall that me and you have talked about here in these last couple of minutes and saying, hey, let's get people involved who have fresher legs if we want to win this back-to-back here tonight.
CPJ defending closely on Cam Whitmore, makes him pick up his dribble and give it up to Van Vliet. They get the switch. CPJ onto Van Vliet. Van Vliet down the middle of the paint. A floater is off. Rebound to Allen. Gives it up to Garland. Garland behind the back. Scoots by his defender and Whitmore at the left wing. Garland still dribbling. He lost the basketball. Too much dribbling. Too much one-on-one play. Back come the Rockets. Van Vliet stops on a dime at the left wing. Drives inside. Garland gets back defensively. Knocks it away. And then Garland bumps Jayshawn Tate in the left wing. It'll be a foul on Darius.
I mean, you could just tell that, some of these guys in the wine and gold are just a little bit frustrated, a little bit out of sorts here. Like you said, way too much one-on-one play, for that possession just kind of turns into compounding mistakes for DG, picking up the foul at the other end, something you have to limit, not only if you want to win games, but if you want to, make sure that you're one of the premier teams in the league. Something the Cavaliers haven't done all year, just a little bit sloppy in this first half.
Şengün back into the game for the Rockets. He works on Allen, the low block. He finds Jayshawn Tate underneath, who lost the basketball. Niang jumped up, just happened to make contact with the basketball, and knocked it out of bounds.
Hey, whatever works.
Oh, yeah, it worked great.
Whatever works for defensively.
So
that might have been off on Eason, though.
It definitely was off on Eason. It would have been a foul on Niang, though, so I guess I'll take it.
Fair enough.
Not either way. Cavaliers get the steal. Ahead it goes to CPJ on the right side. CPJ looks underneath for Niang. Now he bounces it off to Allen. Allen down the middle of the paint. Finds Niang underneath. Niang lays it home. George Niang has 11 points, and it's a 6-point game. Rockets 43, Cleveland 37, under 7 to play, second quarter. As Şengün way out top. Allen meets him. Şengün, the swim move underneath the hoop. He missed the layup. Allen collects the rebound. Allen doing a good job rebounding thus far. It's Darius forecourt. Crosses over Van Vliet. To the corner, it's CPJ. Around the wing it goes. It's Sam Merrill from downtown as Sammy Boy knocks down the three, and it's a 3-point game.
Cavaliers going on a little miniature run right here. 6 of 12 from the 3-point line. Righting the ship, making this a competitive contest here halfway through the second.
Yeah, Merrill nailed that shot with a man right in his grill. I didn't even think it was really that good of a look, but he drilled it. Dylan Brooks, step back long too. You'll live with it, but he hits it.
Respectfully, one of the less pretty jump shots in the league, if I may say.
45-40 Houston. We're under 6 to play in the first half. Darius off the screen from Allen, works his way patiently down the middle of the paint. He is fouled from behind, and Garland earns a trip to the line for 2.
And he's going to go to the line here, Logan, but he needs to remember his nickname, and I think the fans have to take this into account too. It's not DG the ISO guard, it's DG the PG. Set up the offense, let's run a play, let's run something constructive, let's get an open look, let's go back to the 3-point line. You're hitting 50% from there. The dribble, turnover, dribble, bad look. Let's get away from that. Let's go back to the roots of why this team has such a good record.
Yeah, the Rockets called a timeout, so we are currently on a break. Want to pull up that score bug for me, Jeffrey? I already forgot it.
Yes, sir.
Or a 45. That can't be right, is it? Oh, yeah, that's right, because Garland's going to line for 2. Okay. 45-40 Houston. Cavaliers starting to push back a little bit now, starting to get more aggressive, I would say, especially defensively. They've turned some turnovers into points in this quarter, leading the quarter 13-12. Let's take a look at the scoring leaders. Why don't we?
Yep,
If you
sure.
don't mind.
Let's go to the Cavaliers here.
So 11 for Niang. I mean, if he didn't show up, we'd be in a 15-point hole right now. You got 8 from Donovan. All 8 came on the first 3 possessions, so he's been cold since. Yeah, just a lot of guys not performing thus far. Allen only has 2 boards, huh? Is that right? I watched him collect 2 rebounds in like the last 3 possessions. That's surprising. I thought he had more than that. 4 rebounds for Thompson. That's, again, that guy I was talking about. Jalen Green, 9.6 for Van Fleet, 8 for Dylan Brooks. That's far too many for the first half for Dylan Brooks.
I mean, shooting 50% from the floor. Cavaliers 50. I think this is still behind one. Or Bally's broadcast was wrong because this is 6 of 6. I swear it said 6 of 12.
It did say 6 of 12.
Hey, we've made both of our free throws so far, so
yes,
gold star. Let's continue that moving forward. But yeah, just getting out rebounded, man. The points in the paint and the rebounds, a little bit startling. But
what is the points in the paint again? If you can go back to that.
26 to 8, 26 already for them out of what, 45?
Yeah, it was 10-4, 6 minutes in, so they've really turned it up.
Yep.
10-4 Cavs, I should say.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it started out pretty nicely. We're getting Allen involved underneath and whatnot. But all right, 45-40 Houston. Cavaliers got some work to do. They've done a good job of cutting into that lead. This lead is once 10 in this second quarter. So Cleveland started to command the second quarter after a slow start to the frame.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in this one. 5-point game. I think that the defense is to be expected off the second night of a back-to-back, but this is this is not the Rockets teams of the past, few years. This is the second seed in the Western Conference. So with us down multiple rotational pieces, I mean, it'll be a good test of grit and grind for this Cavaliers squad here tonight.
Ooh, JT Thor, 24 points and 11 rebounds in a win today over who is that? The 76ers G League team. 24 and 11. I do like JT Thor. Obviously, we only get to see him at garbage time, but anyway, just watching the screen. Garland's first free throw is up and good. That's a good sign to see. Playing the Houston Rockets, knocks down his first free throw of the evening. It's 45-41 Houston, 5:57 to play in the second quarter as Garland will toe the tape for one more. Spins it in his hand, and good. How do you feel about the short free throw warm-up? I find the best shooters don't do a whole lot of bull crap at the line.
I would tend to agree with you. And if he wants to get in that 50-40-90 club, which we've kind of harped on all season, you got to make your free throws.
Gotta. It's probably the toughest one to get of all 3 stats. As Van Fleet off the curl fires a long mid-range shot. It's no good. Garland got his hand on it. Strus saves it in the corner to Garland. Good job. Good hustle all around by Darius and Max. And Garland comes into the forecourt. Garland goes the other way of the screen by Allen. Drives right baseline to the basket. Nice left-handed finish on the right side. Darius Garland makes it a 1-point game.
Those quick twitch movements by DG's heating up a little bit here in the second quarter.
It's an 11-2 run over the last 3 minutes of game time for Cleveland. Brooks has the shorter Garland on him. Instead, he gives it up to Eason. Eason, I thought he walked, but he sends it right side to Brooks. Brooks turns away on Garland, finds Thompson underneath. Allen, a good contest. The ball squirts over to Elfrid Şengün, who lays it home. A second chance point again for the Rockets. It's 47-44 Houston, under 5 on a ticking second quarter clock. CPJ pulls up. That one's no good. You don't love that shot on that possession from CPJ. It's Tari Eason, right wing, drives right baseline. Now he sends it across court to Thompson. One more Van Fleet, free to fire. It's good.
Just somewhat of a poor rotation there. The ball moves faster than the Cavaliers defenders, and it's I think that's a second or third, wide open look for Van Fleet in this first half.
He's got 3 triples. As CPJ, he had a layup, looked to pass to Allen, and again, that's the moments you're going to have with CPJ. A lot of good comes from CPJ, but when you don't play him a whole lot and you kind of just thrust him in, you're going to see those kinds of turnovers. So it's 50-44 Houston, 4 minutes and 18 to play on the second quarter clock. It's Van Fleet finds Thompson underneath, the pass and low to Şengün, the floater's up and good in the paint. Cavaliers are giving up those baselines. Thompson, that's like 6 or 7 times now this game that he's just cut baseline unimpeded. and it's set up good stuff for the Rockets. Now, I haven't seen Donovan Mitchell in a while. I don't know if that's something to monitor, something to look at, but we're at the 4-minute mark now in the second quarter as Garland goes reverse, lays it up and in. 52-46 Houston, 3:49 to play, second quarter.
We're into the Darius Garland show offensively. It's been working the last 2 possessions as he goes up to 10 points and 4 assists in this first half, getting some good looks at the rim.
Right on cue, Donovan Mitchell heading to the scorer's table as Dillon Brooks knocks down the 3.
He's
Nothing
another guy that loves
net.
playing us.
Yep, and he's got some words for Garland at the other end.
What is wrong with him, respectfully?
Honest to God. I like people to talk to Darius, though. It seems to only get him going. Nonetheless, Houston now has grown their lead to 9. Allen off the bounce from Strus, lost it. Strus got it back. Looks like they're going to call a foul.
I'm hoping they show this replay because I don't know why Brooks is hot. Did DG say something to him on this end? Interesting. Maybe he called him a fraud. Maybe giving him the look.
He did stare him down. All right, then I got to give Brooks, his credit. That's fine. 2 guys jawing at each other on 2 straight possessions.
Little bump. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm the first person to tell you that this league needs some storylines and physicality and some, not brawling, but needs something back in this association. So let's keep good storylines developing here between the Cavs and the Rockets over these last 2 games.
That's Garland. Finds Allen, the Statue of Liberty. One-hand dunk. And it seems like every time Allen dunks it, he dunks it with a little something extra.
Absolutely. That afro with attention and aggressiveness to the rim.
It's a 7-point game. Donovan has checked back into the game. It's Jalen Green with the basketball. Splits defenders, now bounces it in low for Dillon Brooks. He's on the left block against Garland. Turns towards baseline, fires and hits. That's a tough shot. Dillon Brooks.
He didn't like that. He didn't like getting stared down. Dillon Brooks active as the day is long on the offensive end of the court for Houston.
Darius trying to respond. He does with the floater down the middle of the paint. A little back and forth here between DG and Brooks.
Love it.
57-50 Houston. 2:25 in the second quarter. Jalen Green uncorks a 3 and knocks it down. Boy, things have picked up. Suddenly neither team can miss, but Cavaliers down 10. A big hole right now. As Darius on the cut takes the pass from Mitchell, sends it to the corner to Merrill. That 3 is no good. Allen trying to collect the offensive rebound. It was batted away from him out of bounds. Cavaliers get possession on the baseline.
I would love to take like a roster, like an NBA roster full of guys from like the 1980s and ship them into a time machine to 2025 and just show them how fast the pace of play has increased in the modern day NBA. It is staggering how fast not only these guys get up and down the court, but how quick they are to pull the trigger, especially from the 3-point line.
People talk about Michael Jordan's like iconic reverse layup, and we have Grayson Allen doing that these days.
Grayson Allen mentioned.
Never thought you'd hear that. It was a timeout on the floor. Now, Jeffrey, 2 minutes, 6 seconds to play. Cavaliers need to close out this half in a good way.
If they close out this quarter like they did the first quarter, it's going to be an extreme uphill battle in the second half. Because if you remember that first quarter, it was 2 or 3 bad possessions in a row, and then Houston converted on their end. So if this, like I said, if this lead gets any bigger than 10 points here, the one team in the league who I would bet on a comeback in a big spurt of offensive production is this Cavaliers team. No discredit there. At full strength, it's obviously a lot easier. You're down LeVert, you're down Okoro, you're down Dean Wade, you're on a second night of a back-to-back. Lots of factors playing into this game. Houston, second seed in the Western Conference, a conference that the Cavs have been super proficient and good against all season long. We're going to see how the attention to detail and how Atkinson approaches these last 2 minutes, not only from an offensive standpoint, but what we're going to do on the defensive end, limiting Dillon Brooks, limiting some of the 3-point shooting. And yeah, hopefully we could go into halftime here with a lead that is, a closer game than this 10-point lead.
It is 60-50 Houston. We talked about defense. 60 points is too much. Let's see. Looking at the chat here. Mobley has been very sluggish. Mitchell has been frustrating. And MZC, if he's off the chart, if he's off, he starts overthinking. That's a good point. I like that point. He kind of is doing a little too much out there right now, I'd say. Not letting the game come to him.
I mean, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that box score check, Logan. I made a point of it because I really did want to come back to it, and it's not that we're harping on the guy. I mean, he's an all-star starter, but it's just interesting to see how some of these games shake out for him in the box score, but he scored the first 8 points. I thought me and you on the inaugural Cleveland Pulse Network broadcast were going to see a 70-point heater from the guy. He had 8 points. He had 8 points in the first, 90 seconds. He is 0 of 6 since and still has those 8 points.
Is he turned over the ball much? It seems like he's been a little sloppy, but I don't know how much he's actually turned over the ball.
Turnovers, no turnovers in the box score for him. 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal.
Okay, just kind of playing a little bit out of sorts. As Tony Brothers tells the camera guy to get off the floor, we got to play some basketball. 60-50 Houston, 2:06 to play. Cleveland looking for a good stretch here to go into the halftime. It's Darius Garland out high. Garland down the middle of the paint, floated with the left hand. No, he passed it to Mobley. I think he had the shot. Instead, he throws it away. Thompson the other way, down the middle of the paint for Rockets. He goes through 3 Cavs defenders and lays it in. That simply can't happen, Jeffrey.
It's been the story. Atkinson's going to have a field day at halftime here about the points in the paint. Whoever the stat keeper is, whoever's the resident stat guy on the bench for Atkinson and company, that's the first thing I'm highlighting in the box score.
Mobley's 3 is no good. Jalen Green's 3 is good, and it's a 15-point game plus a foul. Boy, so
guess we jinxed them, guys. Sorry.
Not a good finish to this half right now for the Cavaliers. A minute 36 to fix, I guess, but nonetheless, Strus got him on the arm. Rockets 65, Cleveland 50. As Jalen Green has one more coming, a 20-6 run, responding to that 11-2 run by the Cavaliers. As Rockets have scored, yes, folks, 20 points in 3.5 minutes. Not something you like to see.
And you're on pace to give up a $140 so far in this game. So, like I said, Kenny and company just cannot be pleased about this first half performance defensively.
Donovan sends it in low to Mobley. Mobley, good patience, and he's fouled. Going up, I assume he'll shoot 2. It's 66-50 Rockets. Mobley trying to get himself going. Getting to the foul line is one way to do it.
And it's easy down there with Mobley. You get him down low. He has 2 people on him. He gets an opportunity for a basket. He's going to go to the free throw line. I understand you're keeping a more conservative approach with him in this game. He's only played 12 minutes so far. Him and Strus 12 minutes out of the starters. Mitchell with 14, Garland with 16, Allen with 16. So you're not going to burn the guy out. It's a game in the last week of January. You got a long season ahead of you with the All-Star break right around the corner. So we'll see how he gets managed the rest of this game.
Mobley splits the pair, but George Niang on the floor trying to grab the basketball. It's going to be a loose ball foul on the Rockets. George Niang, the only man in double figures so far tonight, 11 points, putting in work there to salvage another possession for Cleveland. He's got some word for Dylan Brooks as well as Şengün. Maybe a wink too. Maybe it was friendly word.
I don't know if it's friendly with this Joker between him and Şengün. I kind of, the Brooks memory is so iconic. It kind of got overshadowed last game with Şengün, but it's getting a little chippy.
Niang's first free throw rattles in. 66-52, minute 20 to play. What you'd love right now from Cleveland is really just stops. If they're not going to score more, you want to see them at least put up a wall defensively this last 80 seconds. As Niang's second free throw is no good, they go 2 of 4 at the line on that possession. Leaving points at the line, can't do it. Rockets are shooting 60% in this first half. They look to add their 14-point lead. It's Jalen Green out high, defended by Darius Garland. Takes him on his left hip, steps back, baseline. Jay on the way. It's no good. Max Strus able to secure the rebound. Donovan pushes the other way for the Cavaliers. Mitchell to the corner it goes. Garland in low to Mobley, the 2-hand dunk. That's just great all-around passing from the Cavaliers.
First good sequence in a while there, Logan. Good defensive possession. Turns into a free dunk on the other end.
66-54 Rockets. 45 seconds to play in the first half. It's Şengün. Mobley meeting him all the way out at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse logo. And now it's Şengün across the lane. Throws up a wild shot. It rattles around the rim and falls. As he got about 10 feet away from the basket, slopped it up there, and it fell. It's a 14-point game. 30 seconds to play. Garland pushing. Garland, the floater, no good. You think maybe DJ was trying to go 2 for 1 there, but he was too late in the clock to kind of make that shot happen.
Yep.
Instead, Jalen Green walks across half court. There's a 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Jalen Green between the circles, looked on by Strus. Rockets going to try to play for the final shot as much as they can here. Green to the foul line. Step back 2 on the way. Rims off. Rebound Mitchell. Go. 2 seconds. 1 second. Donovan from half court. No. And that'll end the first half. A first half of the Cavaliers, once again, didn't play a whole lot of defense. 68-54 Houston as we go into the break.
And Şengün, I mean, he knows what to do with that basketball. He knows what he wants to do when he gets down that close to the basket within that 10-foot range, as you were saying there. That's the story of the half for me. Points in the paint, 3-point percentage. You know, you look at the box score, and if you're not really watching the game or if you're kind of half paying attention, you sit there and you kind of think to yourself, or you might have a thought in your head like, oh, you know, Houston's up 14 and, you know, they have 68 points. But look at their field goal percentage. Look at their 3-point percentage. At the end of the day, it's not like they're hitting these crazy shots that, you know, are super contested. They have a lot of open looks, not only right at the rim, but at the 3-point line. They're shooting 53% from three. Yes. Is it a crazy mark? Sure. But a lot of uncontested shots. The Cavaliers, respectively, shooting 46.2% from three, getting just killed on the glass, Logan. That's probably going to be my second point, the talking point there. Getting out rebounded by 7. They have 3 more offensive rebounds than us. As far as everything else, you know, you have 8 turnovers already in the first half for the Cavaliers. It's just not everything recently in these past 3 games has been, you know, just like I said, it's not a 180, but everything has seemed to be a tick off for this Cavaliers squad on both ends of the floor these last 3 games.
Do you happen to see assist numbers there? I'm curious what that battle is.
Yes, Cavaliers actually leading in assist numbers. Okay. Oh, I wasn't even sharing the screen. That is so funny. Here we are. Assist numbers all the way down here. I believe it's 15-14, 15-12.
The Rockets are just driving to the basket one-on-one and beating them to the bucket. That's what they're doing.
15-12. Yeah, there's really no need for the Rockets to even pass the ball around. It's kind of point of attack and go. 34 points in the paint. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is absolutely a lot. It's and that's the disappointing thing, right? That's probably the stat besides rebounding. When you get Mobley back, you think those 2 categories are going to even out, and we're seeing a lot of the same so far. I mean, this is a 36-8 Cavs team, right? 36. I think that's correct. I mean, 2 straight losses to teams not that you should necessarily beat, but it's the manner in which they're losing. It is the defense right now that is becoming a bit concerning, if you ask me.
Absolutely, and obviously everything is contextual. You know,
yeah.
The season off to you can't ask for really a better start than this at the end of the day. But if you want to get to that next level, let me put it like this. if and then Logan knows that little laugh, that little chuckle, Logan knows exactly what I'm about to start, you know, going off about. But if you're cool with just winning a first round playoff series again, that's fine. Don't analyze the losses. Don't look at the deficiencies. Don't talk about rotations when people are hurt. Don't think about making a trade at the break. That's fine. If you want to make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not the NBA Finals, talk about it. Get involved. Think about this. Analyze it from a non-biased perspective. Don't analyze it like a Cavalier fan. We are both born and breathe and grew up with this franchise. You don't have to come in and tell us, oh, haters or this and that. No. Outstanding season so far. Donovan Mitchell's an all-star. Kenny Atkinson is an all-star head coach. You're the first seed in the East. How do we keep it going? You don't play 42 games and then hang out for the rest of the year. How do you translate it to the playoffs? All stuff that we are analyzing, diagnosing, digesting here on the first ever Cleveland Pulse Network live broadcast of Cavaliers Rockets.
Jeff, you ever seen Step Brothers?
Absolutely.
You know that scene where they're doing job interviews and they're wearing suits and John C. Reilly lets out, and he looks at him, Seth Rogen does, and he goes like, you know what, now the suits kind of seem effed up.
Yeah, yep.
I'm taking off the headset. This is not
I love how that was your segue for the headset.
This isn't plugged into anything. I'm getting all my audio through here, but now that the Cavaliers down 14, the headset seems kind of effed up. That's so
switching it out.
We're switching the lock. Yes, like I said, this is a broadcast. We're trying to do it professionally, but from a fan's perspective. But you get to a point as a fan where I get superstitious. I usually wear a Cavs hat every single Cavs game.
That's fair. I hear you.
I am. This one I haven't brought out in quite a while. I love my white one, wherever that's at right now. But yeah, taking a look at those Eastern Conference standings, Boston also kind of one of those teams that's struggling lately. I mean, 6-4 in the last 10. They've lost to a couple of inferior opponents as well. I mean, really, the Bucks and the Pacers are playing really good ball. We obviously had to play them a couple times recently, but the top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference all struggling.
It's been a little bit of up and down.
Struggling is such like a relative term. It's comparatively to how the rest of the season is going. Yeah, choppy.
Little bit choppy. But here's the thing, Logan. It's something interesting to monitor, and it just shows you kind of not how difficult the NBA regular season is, but like unpredictable, and it's tough that you see like a team try their ass off super hard for multiple years in a row, or just have the same success. But Boston last year only had 18 losses all season, and they're already at 14. And I thought that was a pretty incredible season, wire to wire, from Boston all year long. I didn't think that they were, dynasty ready, or that, the Cavs had absolutely no chance headed into this season. I didn't think any of those things, but they're already 4 losses under their loss total from last year. And obviously the Cavaliers record is, much improved from a year ago at this point.
I tell you what, though, the thing you have to, when you are the top dog, you're the hunted.
Mm-hmm.
These games become important.
Absolutely.
I think for this Cavaliers team to go as deep as they can in the playoffs, and yeah, it sounds easy to say, like everyone's going to say this, but I think it's especially true for the Cavaliers. Having home court advantage all the way to the finals would be paramount. Never mind the fact they could also have it in the finals. And we're talking if this Cavaliers team gets to the finals. Obviously, a lot of things have to still go right. Playoff basketball is different. This Cavaliers team can start falling in some places, no doubt about it, until they get Cam Johnson. Just a little shout. We're at halftime here. So
who said that? Who said that?
Don't even. I personally, I said at the top of the broadcast, I'll say it again now at halftime. I think it's good that they're struggling, because last year we go into the trade deadline having won, we went 20-2 or something, some crazy stat. Or was that 2 years ago? It was last year, right?
I think so.
Where we went nuts without Mobley and Garland. It was Allen and Mitchell leading the way.
Yep.
But because we're playing so good, we didn't even think about changing the team. And to our credit, I mean, they got to the second round, and they gave Boston a competitive 5-game series despite missing Jared Allen and others. But nonetheless, I think losing at this time when you're supposed to, quote unquote, be peaking, I guess, like we kind of peaked really early in the season, 15 straight wins to start the season. I think it's good because the front office gets to get a general idea of, okay, everything else is good here, but there's one thing missing. There's something missing right now. Backup big and a wing is paramount, especially a guy like Dean Wade. We don't know when he's going to be back. And in recent memory, Dean Wade, when he returns from injuries, he takes a little while to get going. Same with Okoro. I personally think it's a good thing. Now, that being said, in the first ever broadcast for the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel, I'd love to win this basketball game. Still think the Cavaliers could, but they do look out of sorts.
For sure. And we got some time here. So I'm just going to, keep riding with your thought right there. Let's dive into that a little bit more, because I put this out earlier today. If you had to make one addition to the Cavs roster, what would it be? And you cannot choose both. And this is assuming that you want a move to be made. The overwhelming majority, nearly at 67%, has claimed wing. Now, I could tell you that's the reason, because the way I could have basically just put Cam Johnson or backup big, because that's what everyone's talking about. The backup big is not the sexy move. Fully aware of this, but if I had to vote on this right now, Logan, I would vote backup big. I'm curious to hear how you feel about that.
We're going to hate to hear this, because I've made many points in the past about how over the last number of seasons, guys like Tristan Thompson, guys like Robin Lopez, guys like Ed Davis, guys what's his nuts, Damian Jones are not going to get it done as a backup big.
What about Moses Brown?
No. So what's hilarious is I actually kind of liked Moses Brown, not gonna lie.
I thought, he was at least a younger at least he was like prospect like.
There was something he could have worked. We could have worked with him.
Correct.
But I do think right now I would like a hybrid per se. I want a tall wing, a good rebounding wing. Now, I don't think Cam Johnson is really that. I just think Cam Johnson would be a really good fit for this basketball team. But yeah, come playoff time when Mobley, Allen need breaks. I know you only play 8 deep anyway, but we saw it in the Knicks series, right? We got pushed around underneath, and we didn't really have an answer for it. We saw it. Honestly, you could even say a little bit in that Magic series, we saw us get pushed around. But when it slows down and you're in a half court offense,
Yes,
you can't settle for just it's a missed shot. Oh well, like we'll get them next time. Like, no, you need second chances in the playoffs. You need guys that are going to create those because they don't come around often in the playoffs. You need guys that are going to give you that second chance. And if you don't, someone else will, and they'll be getting as many chances to score as possible. Oh my gosh, Quaker Steak and Lube. Love it. I'm just watching halftime right up here.
sounds amazing.
That does sound funny. I didn't have dinner.
This.
Yeah, no, I didn't have crap before I decided, hey, let's just sit down for 3 hours and broadcast a basketball game.
No, truthfully though, Logan, at the end of the day, and a part of my rationale here is I think it's too deep. It's way too deep into the season to make a move where you send out like 2 or 3 rotational pieces. I'd have to analyze every single, like, let's say the last 5 championship teams. I'd have to go back and analyze them. But if my memory serves me correct, and at least what I'm assuming here, that's not the move at the deadline that championship teams make.
Right.
They make a move on the margins, a secondary move, a tertiary move, glue guy, veteran, position of need. I think it's too late to go, all right, we have to restructure all of our rotations because you just sent out Niang, LeVert, and Merrill, some combination of players that has played consistent minutes for this roster throughout the entirety of the year.
Which again goes back to your point where backup big isn't the sexy move, but it's probably the move that's not going to mess with the flow of the game or
correct
have any other problems of that nature. You know who I'd really like, and he's obviously a dream type of thing. Trey Murphy healthy. I don't even know. I haven't heard his name at all this year, but I like Trey Murphy.
The reports earlier in this season, because that was my ideal trade partner this summer, but everything I heard is that Trey Murphy was not available.
Okay.
They weren't even I don't even think they were I don't even think they were considering moving him, unless I'm getting him mistaken with Herb, but I think both of them were, I don't know, New Orleans should trade whoever at this point. I mean, I'd be shopping Zion if I were them.
I was told Josh Hart was not worth losing anybody 2 seasons ago. That's what I heard. And the guy's 6'4", grabbing 10 rebounds a game. You want to talk about a hybrid. He could play the 4 and probably hold his own.
Let's talk about this, because I'm glad you brought this up. I fully believe we have a Josh Hart on this roster. His name's Jalen Tyson.
Yep.
Hasn't
seen a minute in the first half.
That's startling to me. I wasn't going to bring it up. I haven't. You know what? Atkinson, coach of the month, coach of the week awards, whatever he's won this season, all-star, coach already in his first season as a Cavaliers head coach. I don't want to talk bad. I don't want to say anything negative about the guy, but these last couple of games, I'm like, first half, I get it. You let Craig Porter get some run, and I'll give Kenny Atkinson some respect there, because he could have pulled CPJ really early in his run right there. After the first turnover, he'd be like, all right, I tried, I trusted you, get out. He didn't. I like that. You're playing a game in January. This is where you're going to learn. This is where, hey, something Craig learns here. If he needs to play minutes in the playoffs for whatever reason, something goes left, right, center, south, north, whatever happens, and he needs to play in a bigger spot later in the season, this is where you get him some run. So I did like that. I was very startled that Tyson did not see minutes in this first half.
Well, especially, not only are we down Karras, Okoro, Wade, our 3 wings, essentially, also 3 guys that do meet at the point of attack and don't let guys go downhill and get opportunities at the basket as often. That's kind of a main point, right? Like, I need just a feisty guy out there right now that's going to stop that, because if Cleveland, and this is the crazy part, I have so much confidence in this team that I'm sitting here down 14 being like, it's just 14. Like, but at the same time, there hasn't been a lot that I've seen where we've stopped them. We haven't had a good 3. We kind of did for a moment. They had 11-2 run in 3 minutes. That was a good little stretch. But outside of that, I mean, since the opening minutes of the game, it's pretty much been dominated by the Rockets. I don't know. I think Tyson's the type of guy that probably needs to see minutes in the second half. And knowing Kenny Atkinson, he's not predictable, right? Like, he is the type of guy that he can understand the flow of the game and see what we need. Maybe he sees something that we don't, and we'll see what he has to show in the second half. I don't think, unless Merrill catches fire, I don't think he really should see minutes in the second half. He knocked down that one triple, but then mostly ineffective. Donovan's, it starts though at the top, right? Donovan's got to get it together. Scores the first 8 points, and he's been discombobulated is only the word I can really use since then. Sure. No one's really settled in. And, we got a little feisty there at the end, some trash talking back and forth from both teams. I don't know if we really have any real reason to trash talk. We gotta show it on the court first before we start going to the jaw. So we're just about ready for the second half to begin. We appreciate you guys joining us here in the first broadcast here on the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. Cavs and Rockets, Cavaliers trailing 68-54. We'll see what Kenny Atkinson talked about in the locker room. What adjustments will he make?
You might want to refresh on your end, Logan. I'm already a couple possessions into the second half, but I'll hold it down here. Rockets got the basketball, 70 to 54, and good block down low by Mobley on Thompson. Strus with the basketball. Cavaliers moving right to left, shovels to Mobley, and a foul down low. Strus throws the hammer down, but it's not going to count because Şengün fouled Mobley. Or Allen, excuse me.
I'm about 2 seconds behind you. Just saw Strus throw the hammer down.
Okay, cool.
That's the perks of working live with very minimal prep. That
we appreciate everyone hanging on and holding on with us here.
I like that Mobley block there on that other end.
Me too.
So Mitchell will throw into Allen out high as Jared Allen has the basketball to hand off to Strus. Strus works down and kicks it left side of Mobley. Thought three. Now he'll drive in on Thompson. Back out to Strus. Strus uncorks a three. It's off. Rebound batted by Mobley and Thompson. Out of bounds. Cavaliers will get possession. As we like to see, just go after the basketball, right? Try to create a second chance. And Strus, I want to see him shoot some more.
Just put it up, man. You're good. Just put it up. We're gonna need him to play at a high level if we want to make a championship level run. I think people are kind of discounting that.
Garland has the basketball. He gets free underneath the basket, floats it up and in. 70-56. Just a minute gone by here in the second half. Rockets with the basketball. Jalen Green guarded closely by Strus. Green spins away, goes left baseline, back out to Şengün. He's free and open. Fires a three. It's good.
Another wide open Rocket with the basketball, man. It's just we'll see the adjustments here. Let's lock in here and check out these adjustments. Let's see what Atkinson and the Cavaliers got.
Mobley backs it on Thompson. He's stout and he blocks Mobley at the basket. Yeah, I'm on Thompson. He's a talented young player in this game as Van Fleet gives it off to Brooks. He pops into a triple. It's no good. Mobley collects. Back come the Cavaliers. Garland thought Strus was open for a moment. Back out to Mitchell. He steps into a three. No. Cavaliers need some shots to drop as they trail by 17, under 10 to play in the third quarter. Rockets trying to build on their 17-point advantage. Brooks back to Şengün down the middle of the paint, and he got slapped. Did he get slapped across the face or do one of those classic head bobs? It was a good foul by Mobley.
Let's see if they go to the table here and look at the flagrant for this.
Did he get hit in the face?
Oh, yeah. Going for the basketball, though. No review necessary here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah,
absolutely. He makes contact with the basketball. His hand kind of ricochets off into his face.
Is he bleeding? No. Okay, go ahead.
We're good to go. Şengün matched up with Allen on the right baseline. Şengün with Allen's hand right in his face. Backs in on Allen. Now he turns away. He fades away. The Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway jumper off.
That's not his game.
And the rebound to Thompson. Second chance here for the Rockets. Şengün thought three. Now he'll drive and Allen spins, throws it up with the left hand. He was grabbed from behind and fouled.
I know he's a talented basketball player, Şengün, but I don't know. Our inability to defend him is been a little startling in these two games against the Rockets. It's only 6 quarters of basketball, a small sample size, and he's good. He's an up and coming player in this league. That European style hoops, but it's just been like you haven't really had an answer for the guy when you're talking about having two guys who are your 4 and 5s who could easily be all-stars this season. So just something to take note of.
Yeah, Şengün must have watched a lot of Rockets basketball when he was younger because he did the old James Harden ring a rosy.
Sure did.
Grab on the arm. And he goes 1 of 2 at the line, 74-56 Rockets as Garland off the Strus. He's open for 3. It's no good. The attempts are up. The makes are not. And Van Vliet back the other way, gives it off to Dylan Brooks, bounces it in low for Şengün, who's tipped once by Allen, not tipped by Şengün. It'll be Rockets ball on the baseline.
Challenge here? Did it go off a Cavalier?
I do think it was off Allen.
Okay. Must have been the fingertips.
For it. So
you're right, though. The attempts are up. I mean, the shooting is just dried up here, especially to start this quarter.
Yeah, Cavaliers 1 of 6 to start the second half. You can't have that when you were trailing by 14 to start the second half. It's Van Vliet off to Şengün, right wing. He thinks about a three. Now he fires it. It just barely grazes rim, and Mobley collects. It's Garland back the other way. Cavaliers moving right to left in this half as Garland fires a three. It's down. Just what the doctor ordered. Darius from downtown makes it a 15-point game.
Needed that. Let's see what we could build on that offensive end. Let's see if we could get a run going here, a miniature, streak to cut this lead down a little bit more.
Dare I say a Cavalanche? It's Şengün on the right wing, defended by Allen. Van Vliet works downhill, kicks it right corner. Thompson the three, no good. And Allen grabs the rebound. That would have been a backbreaker. Back comes Darius. Darius crosses over Brooks to the basket, up and under. He lost the basketball. Back come the Rockets, 2-on-1. Van Vliet lobs it. Thompson has to grab the ball. Now he sends it out to Brooks. Out high it goes to Şengün. Şengün walked with the basketball. I don't know about that call. We'll take it. Strus says, give me that basketball. Let's go.
Oh, it's over and back.
Oh, that's just bad. But I think it's one of those calls where you have to establish yourself across first before you make contact with the ball.
What a weird possession from Houston there. Between the lob and that, it was kind of discombobulated start to finish.
Nonetheless, Cleveland wants to take advantage. Trailing by 15. Donovan off 2 screens. He fires a three left wing. It's off the back rim. Rebound Allen. He spins into the paint. Goes up with the left hand and scores.
Good persistence. Donovan getting open looks there. I still do not think he's made a shot since our third offensive possession, but he's getting the looks. Just needs to get him to fall.
If you're just joining us, he started 3 of 3. Had the first 8 points for Cleveland. Cavaliers trailing by 13 as Jalen Green steps back, right wing 3. It rims out. Şengün collects a second chance here for the Rockets. Van Vliet bounces it in low. Şengün throws it up with the right hand. It's good and a foul as Allen committed it. I think Şengün, I've never seen him just stand straight up. It seems like he's always.
Well, I mean, that was a crazy move. I mean, you got to respect his game. Like he's an offensive. He's an offensive. It's fun to watch. I mean, he's been a little bit rude these last 2 games, if I may say it lightly. But I mean, he's a good basketball player. He's 8 points this quarter out of his 20 for the game. Let's see if he can make a free throw.
And so Tony Brother somehow confidently called that a foul despite being behind the play. Şengün does not make the free throw. So he earns his 2, doesn't get the free throw to fall. Donovan down the paint, throws it up left hand. It's good. And Donovan trying to get his head back in the ball game. 76-63 Houston, 7:20 on a third quarter clock. It's Jalen Green right wing. I thought he walked with the basketball. Cleveland fans thought he did too. But nonetheless, Rockets with the basketball. It is Şengün out high. Defended by Allen. Şengün spins towards the paint down the middle. He goes up strong, missed it, but a foul. Şengün's drawing fouls on these Cavaliers.
Super, super aggressive. And it's Udoka has this aura around this Rockets team, and I think you saw it in his coaching stint with Boston. It just seems like everybody is decisive with the basketball. There's no second guessing. There's no questioning themselves. Şengün just doing what he wants. Down low, he's made some shots at the perimeter. He's a difficult offensive guy to guard. I'd love to see somebody step up and really give it to him the rest of this game.
Well, I believe that's 4 fouls on Jared Allen, who just checked out. Remember, he got 2 fouls in the first 45 seconds, I believe, and 2
Tristan
fouls
Thompson minutes. Keep following him. He can't make his free throws.
Tristan Thompson is indeed checking in for Cleveland.
Let Tristan foul him 4 or 5 times. Who cares?
Yeah, just someone's got to get in his jersey a little bit. As Şengün at the foul line in this half, I think he's missed 3 free throws, if I'm not mistaken.
Minimum. Let me take a look.
I think it was his third trip at the line in the third quarter alone.
He missed them both.
He missed them both. Rebound to Mobley. That probably got a nice big round of applause from the Cavalier faithful inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And they're trying to get these guys going on the offensive end. Darius fastest to Strus. Strus to Thompson. Back off to Garland. Garland, he spins around. Now he kicks it out right wing. Donovan on the middle of the paint. Goes up with 2 hands. And Donovan deposits.
Donovan Mitchell getting active, getting off of that 3-point line, cutting, carving, making his way to the hoop on these last 2 possessions. Logan, Şengün has missed 4 free throws, 3 of 7.
And here we go. It's an 11-point game. Crowd starting to get into it as Thompson commits an off-ball foul on Şengün. That's four times they fouled Şengün. The timeout is on the floor, but the Cavaliers showing some signs of life, Jeffrey.
Absolutely. And these last two possessions have been perfect, examples of, I think, what we've been pounding the table for. Let's go to the rim. It's not an inside, or it's not an outside in operation offensively, as far as I'm concerned. It's not, let's jack up threes all game. And, from a traditional standpoint, yes, that's how they've been winning all year. These last couple of games, if you're playing let me put it like this. If you're playing basketball at let's just say game 80, the same way you were playing at game 1, 2, and 3. No, you have to consistently and constantly reinvent yourself based on what defenses give you, what the other, opponents' coaching scheme and their film and their scouting does to you. It's not, let's chuck threes, hope they go in, go on with our lives. In a gritty game on a second night of a back-to-back, when you have tired legs, you just got done traveling from Philadelphia. Sure, you're at home, but you're playing a good team who is more rested than you. You have to get creative. You have to go back to your fundamentals. You have to make sure that you're taking high percentage shots. You saw it 2 times in a row there from Donovan Mitchell on back-to-back possessions. I like that. Let's keep it up. I want to see more of that moving forward.
Get engaged, right? That's the key right now. If Donovan's engaged, if he gets going, the Cavaliers are getting stops now. You like to defend without fouling, but that's just going to happen. Take a look at the stats right here. Jared Allen, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Darius with, 17. I didn't even know Darius had that much, and 7 assists. Mitchell now in double figures with 12. He's scored 4 straight in this quarter. Mobley with 5 points, 5 rebounds in his return. Strus with just 4. 12 for George Niang. And down the line, you got Merrill, that 1 triple. Jerome had early minutes, got those 2 floaters, and we haven't seen him since as CBJ checked in for him. And then we look at the Rockets, 20 for Şengün. His season average is 19.8, if I'm not mistaken. Thompson, 6, 6, 7. That's Draymond Green numbers right there. That's prime
good
Draymond.
Utility. Yeah, good utility numbers.
9 points for Van Vliet. He knocked down 3 triples in the first half. 13 for Dylan Brooks. He got going at the end of the first half. 16 for Jalen Green, kind of similar to Garland. I feel like Green's kind of been the quiet 16. And then down the way, Steven Adams, 4 for Tate, 2 for Eason. Cavaliers got some work to do, but like I said, we're seeing signs of life now as they're showing the replay of that Darius Garland feed to Donovan Mitchell going right down the paint. Definitely took out some frustration on that 2-hand dunk. Let's see if the Cavaliers can build on it. They trail 76-65 in this game. It'll be Rockets basketball.
Let's make an assessment of what happens out of this timeout, or out of this timeout and out of these free throws here. Rockets already in the bonus here for this quarter.
I was just going to say, why are they at the line?
Now here's my thing. You don't see in the modern NBA. Bring him down. Put Tyson in. Bring the offensive down and foul him. Keep fouling him. Can't make his free throws. He's rattled. We've clearly found his deficiencies. He's been cooking us all other aspects of the game. Foul him again on this next offensive play if he misses this one.
He missed his first. The second one is up. It rims home.
Doesn't look confident, though.
Does not. 77-65 Houston. 6.5 to play in the third. It's Evan Mobley with the basketball. He picks it up high on the right side off the Strus. Back to Garland. Garland down the right side of the lane. Kicks to the corner. It's Donovan. Donovan puts it on the floor. Floats it up. It's off. Got his own. Put it back up and in. As Mitchell, basically all in one motion. 2 shot attempts. Gets it on the second try. It's a 10-point game.
Donovan Mitchell coming alive in this third quarter. Nothing has been easy, but 3 straight possessions where he's involved.
It's Şengün driving in on Thompson. Şengün kicks it to the corner to Amen Thompson. Now he's on the right wing, trying to go in on Mobley. He spins towards the basket, falls away, and hits. That's a tough shot. Yep. Good defense by Mobley. You got to tip your cap to Thompson.
Absolutely. Good move down low, finishes at home.
And now Mitchell. He's free to fire from the top. Donovan Mitchell. You can count it. 9-point game. Timeout, Houston.
Here we go, Logan. Donovan Mitchell getting involved. It's, after the first 3 possessions, nothing from him. Comes out this third quarter, halfway through, and he's been the difference maker in the start to the second half.
79-70 as they take a break on the broadcast. 5:41 to play in the third quarter. outside of Donovan, what are you liking on the defensive side of the ball? Obviously, the Cavaliers have committed a lot of fouls, but that means they're getting into guys' jerseys. Obviously, Şengün also just a master of drawing fouls.
Yeah, keep it difficult, keep it aggressive. Make sure you're playing your style defensively. It seems like they've maybe done a little bit better, a tick better of a job limiting the points in the paint. Send them to the free throw line, especially Şengün has not been able to hit his shots here from the stripe, especially in the second half. You played good defense the last trip down. It was a better offensive move from Thompson. He gets the bucket to go. It's going to happen. This is a talented offensive roster from the Houston Rockets. Look, keep doing what you've been doing now. Make sure that you don't have anybody standing at the perimeter past that 3-point line wide open, and you can get back into this basketball game.
And they certainly have. Cavaliers went down by as many as 17 early in this third quarter as the Houston Rockets came out and kind of punched them in the mouth yet again. They already took some body blows in the first half, took a punch to the mouth and punched right back as it's a 9-point game now with Donovan engaged. Let's see, is that 7 for Donovan? No, 9 for Donovan this quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Believe so.
He scored on 4 of the last 5 possessions. That's what you do right now. I think Kenny Atkinson in this huddle, he usually likes to take out Mitchell first.
Got to keep him in there now, though.
He usually keeps Darius on the floor, and then Donovan comes in for Darius, and then they're back together midway through the second quarter is usually the way he goes about it. But I think in this game, I'd like to see if Kenny just rides him right now, and he should. I mean, this is what's working at the moment as Mitchell's come alive.
Yeah, he's quickly up to 17 points here, Logan. So he had 8 points the first 3 possessions. He has 9 points in this quarter alone. Let's see what he ends up with. Can he give us a 30 ball? Let's see. I think you're going to need it. You might need 30 and you might need more, but truthfully, this is what, and just to keep us a little bit grounded here, I think that it's going to be a competitive second half here, but some of these past couple of games has felt like last year where Donovan goes for the stat line and we don't win, or it never really feels like we, had a chance to win. So it's something to monitor, moving forward for the rest of this game.
As we welcome you back inside the broadcast, alongside Jeffrey Santa, I'm Logan Leduc. Cavaliers trying to work their way back. They were down by 17 in this quarter, have worked it to 9. Donovan will stay on the floor for Cleveland as Kenny's going to try to ride the hot hand right now. Jae'Sean Tate will bring it up the floor. Donovan will meet him right at the midcourt line as Tate sends it off to the right side to Van Fleet, guarded by Strus. Bounces it in low for Şengün. That ball's knocked away from behind by Thompson, and we got a foul. That's a late call, man. Super late. Possession was going the other way. I'm not sure what's going on here. And because of that, they're in the bonus, right? Let's see what happens here. Oh, they're called a kicked ball on Tristan.
Oh, I guess ticky-tacky, but didn't even know kickballs could be ticky-tacky, but I think I just saw one.
So Van Vliet has it. Rockets trying to cash in the second chance. Şengün got caught in midair. Looked like he traveled. No call. Jae'Sean underneath the basket kicks it to the left corner to Eason. Eason drives, lays it up, and we got a foul called on the other side of the floor from not from JB Bickerstaff.
Amazing.
I don't know where that came from. A foul called on the other side, and it's going the other way. Offensive foul on the Rockets. It was called by Tony Brothers.
Might as well be JB out there reffing the game.
God, I can't. And I will say this: JB does a great job with the Detroit Pistons this year.
What was the call there, Logan?
I didn't get it. If I had volume or sound or whatever, I'd be able to do it.
It's a Tony
on the
Brothers.
Other end, though, Donovan is fouled. So now trying to get these fouls up on the Rockets, starting to get into a flow here as Eason did in fact reach in on Donovan on the drive. So the Cavaliers will throw it in on the far side of the floor, left side of the court. It'll be Max Strus, the trigger man. He's out there with Thompson, Mitchell, Mobley, and Garland. Strus looking, throws it into Darius. 12 on the shot clock with which to work. It's Garland. He calls for the screen from Thompson. Sets it out high. Garland off the screen, fires a 3. It rattles in. Yep. Darius Garland coming alive. And the Cavaliers trail just 79-73. We're under 5 to play in the third quarter. Van Vliet works off the screen from Şengün. Back to Şengün. Matched up with Thompson. Thompson trying to do some work here. From behind, Garland knocks away momentarily. Recollected by Şengün, and then a foul is called. That's going to put Houston at the line. Man, come on.
Felt like they were letting him play in the
Let them
first
play.
half, and now it's been a 180 in the second half. But look at this offensive possession here, Logan. Darius Garland going with the flow of the play, that happens because Donovan has been active at the rim. The guards are bringing us back into this basketball game. It hasn't been the best night for the bigs. Allen and Mobley returning from injury. Donovan staying active. Darius Garland working in tandem as far as complementing Donovan's play style. It's a 6-point game all of a sudden.
Şengün makes the first free throw, trying to collect himself after missing quite a few to start this quarter, as Jerome and Niang now will check in. Big shout out to Tristan Thompson. He's doing a good job on Şengün since checking
Really
into
is.
this game. Definitely giving him some physicality, as Şengün has one more coming. I will say they just checked out Mitchell. Kenny deciding to go to Jerome here.
That's fine.
Şengün's second free throw is good.
He made
81-73 Houston. Cavaliers is looking to keep on keeping on offensively, though. Starting to get something going. It's Darius Garland. Walks across the timeline. Van Fleet looks on. Now he has a screen either side with Strus and Thompson. He takes Strus aside on the left side. It's Garland. Matched up now with the taller, physical Tate. Garland got him looking away. Hits the three. Darius. You saw Tate just for a moment. Took his eyes off the ball. Garland recognized it. And Darius, when he gets going, it can start really get going. He's got 11 in the quarter, 23 for the game.
And Logan, quickly this quarter is getting away from the Rockets a little bit. Cavs outscoring them 19-13 here.
Underneath, Niang fell asleep. Jayshawn Tate will lay it home.
Can't have it.
Door. Nope, can't have it.
Can't have it when you're trying to make a run.
83-76. Well, if Mitchell's checked out, I guess you got to put Darius now in the prime spot to get them back in this. What a shovel pass underneath. Max Strus collects and scores.
DG.
That's a beautiful pass.
A PG, all-star caliber pass right there from the kid.
A 22-9 run over the last 5 minutes and 10 seconds of game time. It's a 5-point game, 83-78 Houston. It's Van Vliet off the screen from Şengün. He drives left baseline, matched up with Strus. Back out it goes. Şengün, 2 dribbles. Now out right side, Van Vliet. He's going to uncork a 3, and he's going to hit it. A backbreaker of a triple.
Every possession here, yes, we got a whole quarter to play, but every possession here moving deeper and deeper into the second half is going to be important if they want to make this comeback here.
Ty Jerome got caught in midair, gives it off to Thompson, who rumbles down the paint. He's a charge. He commits a charge. Tony Brothers hit the call. It the other way.
That was interesting from Double T is all I'm going to, that's all my commentary is with that. Just an interesting decision.
Yeah, I think he saw the hole, but it got plugged up pretty quickly. And by the time it did, he was already in midair. But Darius Garland, 23 points, 8 assists, 9 of 14 from the court, but the Cavaliers still trail by 8. That Van Vliet 3 really feels like it put it back up way higher than 8. It just feels like Dylan Brooks on the right wing finds a cutter in Şengün. He floats it up. It's no good. That ball tipped off the rim, and back come the Cavaliers. It's Darius Garland to the forecourt. Garland riding the hot hand, drives inside, nearly lost it, got it back, and he's fouled. As Darius went tumbling into the Cavalier bench and the camera guys at courtside.
All of a sudden, Logan, it's like Şengün knocked a little bit off kilter a little bit here. He just isn't getting exactly what he was getting the first half of this third quarter. It's been a world of a difference on the defensive end for the Cavaliers.
And on cue, Şengün checks out. So does Darius Garland. I imagine that means Donovan Mitchell's coming back in. He is. So Jerome will throw in. Out there with Niang, Mitchell, Thompson, and Merrill. Rockets counter with Jayshawn Tate, Jalen Green, Steven Adams, Amen Thompson, and Tari Eason. It's Tristan Thompson handing it off to Ty Jerome. Jerome waiting for Mitchell to come free. He does. Now Mitchell drives, pulls up at the foul line, bounces around, bounces in. He's got the touch right now, Jeffrey.
Yes, he does. And this is an interesting five guys out there for the Cavaliers here for these last 2.5 minutes. I'm curious to see what they do, but just a little bit unorthodox here from KA.
Well, we just did a hack of Steven, but I don't know if the Cavaliers realize they're not. Well, yeah, they are. They hacked Steven Adams. I just watched Merrill foul Steven Adams. But
why weren't they doing that with Şengün? We got the wrong guy here, folks.
But, I mean, Adams just as good, right? I mean, he will go to the foul line. It's Steven Adams. Can you make the Cavaliers pay? He drills the first one.
That looked good to me.
His shot puts it in. 36% free throw shooter this season.
Holy moly. You got to imagine though that you might have to play the Hacka Adams rules a little differently this year, because you don't want to get like a dumb, like, is there any way it could end up being like a new clear path foul at some point? I wonder if that is.
It's probably something that the NBA has thought about for a while. I think Tristan left early there. Adams is long on the second free throw. No lane violation was called. Cavaliers come the other way. Rockets have 20 free throws in this game. Cavaliers just 8. As Donovan works off a screen from Sam Merrill. Never thought I'd say that in my life. As Donovan got free, missed the floater at the rim. 87-80. The Cavaliers look to hack Adams again. Tristan
going to him again. Love it. I respect the hell out of it from Atkinson. Let's do it. I want to win the game. I don't care how you do it. Let's go down. Let's get him to the free throw line. I mean, 30. I thought Şengün was bad, Logan. 33% from the season. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. He doesn't make any of them. Send his ass to the line.
It will be Steven Adams. He's got 5 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 4 at the line, 2 of 5 if he makes the first.
He's good at the first one.
He is, though. The Cavaliers also have to score. You can't keep sending a guy to the line and missing on one end, because you're just giving them a chance to score points. Not that you're not all game, but there's nobody stopping him from shooting these free throws. The second one is also perfect.
I fear they're going to stop doing that after that trip.
That's probably the last time they're going to do that. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to play, third quarter. Lead is back up to 9, 89-80 Houston. Donovan Mitchell lets it roll all the way to half court, where he picks it up. And now the Cavaliers go into motion. Sam Merrill catches a pass from Mitchell, thought 3, gave it up to Jerome. Jerome on the left wing. Got a guy down. He fires a 3. No. Tristan bats it out, but taken away by the Rockets. Jerome nearly had a steal. He'll instead get called for the foul. That's 2 more free throws coming. Yeah, this is getting frustrating, isn't it? I mean,
the Rockets have been in the bonus for a startlingly long time this quarter.
Since the 6 minute and 26-second mark of this quarter, every foul, they've gone to the foul line. It makes it really tough to come back when you can't really play too aggressively.
Yeah, and that just wasn't, I don't know, that wasn't a high IQ foul from Jerome right there. Usually he's pretty good with, trying to play pickpocket, but right there, I don't know if he needed to do that, and he just missed the ball and sends the Rockets to the free throw line.
Amen Thompson working on a triple-double. He's got 9 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
Impressive.
As Mobley is checked in, Tristan Thompson will sit. Good minutes from Double T. Got to give him credit. But with Şengün out, I think they probably could have pulled him a little bit earlier.
For sure.
Thompson's second one rims out. Eason comes from the perimeter and collects the rebound. Green is open. He hits the 3. And just like that, the Cavaliers' lead in this quarter is cut to just 1.
The last thing you could do if they're not making their free throws is fail to box out, give up second chance points, let alone a 3.
Donovan for 3. No. Rebound Merrill? No. Batted away. Here come the Rockets. Thompson behind the back on Mitchell. He lost it out of bounds. Cavaliers will take over possession. See, now go. Right here, the Cavaliers should get going. Minute and 31 to play.
Got to.
Get it in. And now here comes Ty Jerome. Jerome walks it up the right side of the floor, looking for a screen from Mobley. Sets on the left tip of Eason. Out to Merrill. A 3 ball is off. Don't love that shot.
I don't see the 3-point shot being the catalyst to get us back in this game. I could be wrong. I think you have to go down low, work through Mobley, work through Donovan Mitchell driving, make sure Jerome gets to his spots and hit his floaters, and then layer in the 3-point shot. The come down the court, jack up the 3. You can only go on so many runs that way, in the NBA, especially on a back-to-back where you have tired legs headed into the fourth quarter at the back end of the third here.
Steven Adams at the line again as him and Nian got tangled up underneath. Need some misses, don't we? He drills the first. Just like that, this quarter's tied. Cavaliers got it down to as little as 6. Went down by as many as 17. This quarter has been a game of runs, undoubtedly. 26 free throw attempts.
He's not missing at that line.
Just 8 free throws for the Cavaliers. 18 free throw difference. And I can't even blame officials. The Cavaliers trying to make them miss at the line. They're just not doing it. As Jerome down the middle of the paint, he goes up strong and he's fouled.
There you go. Go to the rim, be aggressive, make them play to you. Don't do this where, Sam's going to jack up a shot. Jerome's going to, if you're wide open, it's one thing. If you're offensive, if the body of work offensively is ran strictly through 3-pointers, I'm not liking our chances to get back in this game. Let Jerome be aggressive. Let Donovan and Darius be aggressive, and also make your free throws.
Wait a minute. Did you hear that? Did I just hear Austin Carr get at the 10 before the fourth quarter?
Oh yeah, I did.
I think I just heard that. That's the goal right now. 95-81. Jerome's got one more coming. He made his first. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists thus far for Jerome. He knocks down both. 13-point game, a minute to go in the third quarter. See what the Cavaliers can do. Get a couple of stops, maybe a couple of drops if you have the time to do so. Nonetheless, you want to get some stops. It's Amen Thompson out high, defended by Merrill. Thompson takes a screen. He works off of it, gets to the foul line, kicks it out to Tate. Tate works around, throws it in low. Niang batted away from Thompson. Thompson has it on the left wing. He gets to the left baseline, dumps it in low for Adams, who goes up strong, lays it home plus a foul.
And you've really just the game has gotten away from you in the paint once again. It started off the quarter like this, Logan. You didn't have an answer for Şengün. Tristan Thompson, of all people, checks in, gets it under control. He missed some free throws. The rhythm and timing was not there. And all of a sudden, you get Steven Adams activated from the free throw line, a move that I did not mind fouling him, sending him to the line, but he's made his free throws and he's playing a little bit differently here these last few possessions down.
Way too much doubling too.
Yep.
They're passing right through it, as Steven Adams has 8 points in this quarter, 11 for the game now. As he makes the free throw, Cavaliers now trail 98-82, and they have just a heck of a road ahead. Donovan Mitchell looks in low. Mobley, patience, goes up strong, missed it, but a foul is called, and the Rockets want to review it. We'll see if they end up challenging it.
Steven Adams, Logan, 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Just unfortunate. 12 points for him, plus 11 on the plus minus. He's played good tonight. Houston's bigs have played good tonight. The Cavs bigs on the other end have not.
Well, I got to say, where things have kind of gone wrong, and this is no discredit to Kenny Atkinson, but Garland was feeling it there for a moment. And he checked out Garland as Mobley misses his free throw. He checked out Garland and brought in Jerome. And, I get it. Guys need rest. You want them for the fourth quarter. But again, I think it goes back to understand the flow of the game. If Garland's hot, ride him for another minute and a half, another 2 minutes, and see what he can do. Mobley, one more coming. He missed them both. Merrill collects an offensive rebound.
Needed it.
Would love to cash it in. Niang for 3. He airballed.
Niang jacking shots. I don't know, man. You're on a second night of a back-to-back, and I get we've kind of gotten into this NBA landscape where the second night of a back-to-back is so cursed, and teams just they have such little chance on it, and load management stuff like that. I don't know. It's not like we're the oldest team in the league. You have back to your Garland point, you have young legs. It's not like he's in his mid-20s. Let him out there. Let him cook. The offense looked a lot better when he was out there compared to him being subbed out here for these last couple of minutes. And what did I say? I said 2.5 minutes left or whatever the mark was. It'll be interesting to see what this 5 guys, before Mobley checked in, what these 5 guys do in this last 2 minutes of this quarter. And it just hasn't been anything pretty.
Yeah, see, so my big thing, the thing that we were really good at early on in the season was finishing quarters well.
Yep.
We've lost all 3 quarters in the final 2 minutes.
Can't have it.
No, you got to at least win 1-2 of those quarters, especially at the end. But Rockets right now, is the way it looks, are going to win all 3 quarters so far, and they've dominated going into the next quarter. That's the big deal. What was that score? Are they on was it 88-82? Have they scored 10 straight? No, because Jerome hit a free throw. No, that's not true.
They've been on a run of their own, though, and you're right. It feels like the sequencing of the game, none of the pivotal momentum has been on the Cavaliers side tonight. They've had momentum intra-quarterly, if that phrase even makes sense, but it hasn't seemed like they've been able to string together 2 good, start of a quarter, end of a quarter at all.
I don't understand no Jalen Tyson. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's a good point. Haven't even really thought about it this quarter, but we talked about it at halftime.
Sam Merrill is on the court in his place. Cavaliers trying to get a stop here to go to the fourth. About a second difference between shot clock and game clock. Green will step back on Merrill. The 3 is right through, and that's a dagger to the heart. Cavaliers down 19. 7.5 seconds to play in the third quarter. It'll be Donovan collecting the basketball. Mitchell works it to the forecourt. 4 seconds. 3 seconds, 2. Donovan gets ahead of steam, goes to the basket, throws it up. No, Mobley dunks it. Wow. With 0.1 remaining, Evan Mobley stuffs it, but the Cavaliers, they got work to do. Fourth quarter will be coming up.
Let's get into the stat sheet here, Logan, while we transition into the fourth quarter. At some point, I mean, you just, especially with Mobley back, you're just a little still concerned about the defense. You know, you have the Twin Towers. Mobley's coming off an injury. You want to give the young man some grace, but the rule here at the Cleveland Pulse is if you're good enough to be out there, you're good enough to, be praised and also be criticized at some points of the juncture. So you've given up 33 points minimum every quarter, 35 in that second quarter. You're on pace to give up nearly $140. Let's get into this stat sheet for you here as far as points and rebounds and assists.
Yeah, my biggest issue is a combined 10 rebounds from Tower City and just 15 points to boot.
Just can't happen.
The backcourt's doing a good job. Obviously, Donovan hasn't been efficient, but they've done a good job. I think Strus, I'm surprised to see he has even 6 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, or it might be 5 rebounds. It's 5 rebounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot to like. I'm really disappointed with Tower City today. And how deep have we gone in our bench? We've gone Tristan, Merrill, Porter. I guess we've played 4 guys.
No Tyson though. I agree with you. No
Tyson
is
sense.
Unless something's up that we don't know about. It's just a little startling. I mean, he played last game.
Did he have a G League assignment? Is he like?
I don't think so, because unless they swap them out for Craig, and we're just a little bit buffoonish.
Total rebounds 35-27 Houston. Offensive boards, I mean, they're getting beat in every category. Free throws were tied, but they have 10 more makes. That's just the story of the game. I mean, this has not been a pretty showing from the Cavaliers. Another really disappointing start. That being said, like you said, Jeffrey, if there's any team that can make it interesting, the Cavaliers certainly could. Even in that Philly game last night, they're down 9 with a minute and a half to go. I turned it off, then turned it back on as a 1-point game with 11 seconds to go. But
sure,
the issue is I don't think there's anybody that's really giving us momentum outside of Darius and Donovan. And sure, that's great and dandy, but there's not anything else to go to right now. There's not even somebody else on the floor in this game that keeps the Rockets honest. So they can just double up Darius or Donovan every possession.
It's been a rare game this year, Logan, where there hasn't been a huge step up from a role player.
Yeah.
Like Jerome isn't giving it to you, Merrill, stuff like that. So
Mobley, as we welcome back to the fourth quarter, finds a cutting Strus underneath, and he lays it in. Makes it a 15-point game, 101-86, 18 seconds deep into the fourth quarter. Jalen Green gets doubled way out high, and that's going to have the Cavaliers backpedaling as Adams, good bounce feed on low, and Thompson lays it home. Boy, Steven Adams, that's a type of backup big I'd love to have on my team. Tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Darius Garland back the other way. Cavaliers trail by 17 again, 103-86. It's Donovan high outside on the right, defended closely by Thompson. Bounces it to Mobley. Mobley working on the right baseline versus Jayshawn Tate. He goes left. He goes to the basket. There's a foul called. Really wish they didn't, because Mobley's put down a left-hand Statue of Liberty dunk. But nonetheless, fouls on Tate. So that fourth quarter on Wednesday, Cavaliers came back. If we remember correctly, they were down 15, I think, going to that quarter.
Yep. The Rockets went oogles of minutes without scoring.
Yes, and the Cavaliers are going to need oogles of minutes tonight as Darius steps back and hits the three-pointer.
Good, off to a decent start here, at least offensively. I mean, truthfully, I think Darius and Donovan are going to have to play this whole quarter if they want to win. I don't know if Atkinson is going to commit to that, but we'll see.
Starts with a stop here. Underneath it goes to Thompson. Thompson falls away and gives it out to Jalen Green. Green out high, defended by Strus. Jalen Green, left side of the lane. He stopped and go and fouled and shot. I disagree with that call.
Seems like a little bit different of a second half officiating crew. Seems like it's gotten getting called a little bit tighter here than, I don't know. What is Max Strus supposed to do there?
Not defend, to let him shoot. That's what you're supposed to do. Sorry, we're a professional broadcast. We're not supposed to be talking like that. 104-89 as Jalen Green.
Semi-professional.
We've
learned from the best.
That's true. All of our broadcasters have always been homers. I grew up on Fred McLeod, for God's sake, and
Rest
Joe
in peace.
Cade, and rest in peace to him as well. Jalen Green makes
sad.
both, so the Cavaliers trade 3 for 2. Can't do much trading buckets in general, though. It's 105-89. Nope. Cavaliers trailing by 16. 10:38 to play. Lots of time, but a lot of way to go here as Garland gets on the middle of the paint. To the corner, it goes to Strus, and a foul is called as Garland was held. That's 2 fouls on Houston. If you're the Cavaliers, you'd love to get in the bonus, just like Houston. Houston really built that lead getting to the foul line the last 6.5 minutes, and to their credit, cashed in a lot of those opportunities. Garland on a catch from Mitchell goes down middle of the paint, floats it up, and it rolls around and in. 14-point game. Darius Garland's got 5 quick points in this quarter. It's Green left wing. Finds a cutting Adams. Adams, a little Euro step and a foul is called. I think Donovan
ref show here to start the fourth.
Oh, Mobley is saying he tipped it. I think Donovan looked right at Kenny and said, challenge it. I thought there was a lot of contact, but I like to see it again. Instead, we're going to show a 10-second replay of Garland's floater. 105-91. Jalen Green spins away, goes to the rim, throws it back out to Jayshawn Tate. He works downhill, goes in on Mitchell and a foul. What is this? I mean, come on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there was any flow to this game, it has been torched to smithereens in the first opening, trading of possessions here in the fourth quarter, because I've heard more ref whistles in the last 90 seconds than I think I've heard all game before.
And don't get me wrong, I'm watching the replay. That is a foul, but that wasn't a foul in the first half. Like, correct. These guys are now just like,
they've completely changed their whistle style here. Both, honestly, both ways. It's not just Cavaliers are getting screwed type of deal. It's just like, are you going to have any consistency with your whistle for all 4 quarters or not really?
But like, to just run in and pull up because you're going to run into the guy, like, that's not a legit foul. Like, I get it. The best guys in the league and the best NBA players know how to draw fouls, and Jayshawn Tate does it, and he goes 1 of 2 at the line.
Both of these teams are not good at shooting free throws.
Nope. No. 106-91 to find the Cavaliers. I run this offense through Darius Garland. He passes to Strus. To the right corner goes Mobley. A 3. No. Long rebound falls into the lap of Thompson. He just has rebounds galore tonight as Thompson goes in on Allen, gets to the paint, drop off feed in low for Tate. We have another whistle.
Kickball, I believe. I hope. I think so. I think it dribbled off somebody's foot. Thompson is showing a lot here tonight. I heard someone the other day say, this Rockets team is 2 years away. Maybe 50-50 agree. I don't know. They might be 1 year away. They might be here right now. They're the second seed in the West.
Yeah, it's a good ball club. As Jalen Green's going to pop a deep 3, Strus grabs the rebound. Sorry, Jeffrey. I would love to talk with your point, but sometimes you get so locked in as Donovan kicks to the corner. Garland uncorks a 3. He's fouled from the arc, and Darius go to the line for 3. We've seen this before. 3 free throws for Darius against the Houston Rockets. Let's see what Garland can do.
Yeah, we have seen this before. The fouling on 3-point shots, one of me and your biggest pet peeve. It's amazing how these guys can't figure it out.
I just simply can't stand it.
Defensive fundamentals, never heard of them.
Darius Garland's got 28 points tonight. 11 of 16 from the field, 4 of 5 from deep. Makes his first free throw.
These performances from the guards have seemed so quiet because we've been losing the whole game, but he's been efficient. Donovan scoring the basketball less efficiently, but they're really propping us up here tonight.
Darius has 2 more coming. Here's his second. It's right through. Cuts it to 13. 1 more coming for Darius. He loved to score points if the clock stopped.
Need to.
Garland with a 30 bomb tonight. Looking for 31. Toes the tape, spins the ball. Lets it go. It's good. 106-94. 9.5 minutes to go. There's time, folks. There's time. The Cavaliers need to get some stops, and they need to compound those stops. As they throw it into Thompson. Now it goes left wing to Jalen Green.
They're in his zone here, Logan.
Van Vliet. Bounce feed to Thompson. Bounce feed underneath to Adams. The half hook is up and good.
Didn't work.
They get right through that zone.
Did not work. I was wondering when it was coming, but didn't work.
Darius Garland back the other way. Crosses over on Thompson. Gets underneath. Passes it out to Jared Allen. The handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell lets go of a 3. It's good. Donovan with a man right in his face. Hits a big-time 3. Kind of an afterthought 3, I would say. It was not within the flow of the offense, but he hits it nonetheless. It's an 11-point game. Under 9 minutes to go in this ball game. Thompson grabs it. They seem to love this offense. They get Thompson at the foul line and then swing it around. Van Fleet bounces it in low for Adams. Adams back on the Van Fleet. He's open left wing three. It's good.
I think you gotta stop that after that. That's the same blueprint twice down from them, and it's worked both times. Adams in a spot, and Van Fleet hits you that time.
They're passing right through it. As Garland, boy, wasn't he fouled by Van Vliet? I guess not. He has the basketball. He splits between two defenders, goes down the paint, floats it up and in. Darius Garland, ride that hand right now. He's not missing. He makes it a 12-point game. Can the Cavaliers get some stops? They need it. As they're going to, let's see, they're going man here. No, they're not. They're back in the zone again. This Rocket's going to pass right through it again. They swing it around. Eason.
Come on, Kenny. Come on, Kenny.
This is bad. This is simply bad.
Come on. I get it, but at the same time, Logan, while we're at this commercial break, I think we should collectively refresh our streams here.
Sure.
Just to get people locked in here for this last stretch run of the fourth quarter.
I don't understand. I mean, 3 straight possessions, they totally expose your zone defense, and you keep running it.
They got it. They got a wheel. They got a wheel of offensive plays out of that same set of the basketball. It was all predicated toward the far end of the court. Adams gets his the first time. They go back to Adams the second time down the court, and he goes to Van Fleet the third time. They cover up both of those guys, and they leave somebody to fly in to dunk.
Yeah, so. Thompson at the foul line, and one pass to him, and all of a sudden the Cavaliers' defense just totally collapses. I'm trying to understand that.
Yep.
All right, I'm about to go back in the stream in 3, 2, 1. We picked a bad game for our first broadcast. I shouldn't have picked the game on a second night of a back-to-back, but
no, we're fine. We're having a good time. Everyone that's here, we appreciate you being here. If you're on X, hit the little heart button. Maybe throw us a retweet. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below. Everybody who's tuned in here, we appreciate you guys. Well, there's still 8 minutes left, a little bit more than 8 minutes left in this contest. If it's like the fourth quarter of the last Rockets Cavs matchup, Logan, there's a lot of time left here. There was a 19-0 run by our Cavaliers in that game, so nothing's off the table here. But like I said, I still believe what is true. Like I said at the start of this quarter, Darius and Donovan are not going to be able to check out in this quarter. I do not see how. And if you have both of them off the court, I'm assuming that's a white flag move because nobody else has even been competent on the offensive end tonight, seemingly.
Well, the biggest issue right now, I mean, Van Vliet's done his thing. He's been fine. Şengün's done his thing. He's been fine. It's the wings, Tari Eason and Thompson getting wherever they want to go on the court. This is a game where you miss a guy like Okoro and Levert and Dean Wade. Sure. And I'm not blaming it on injuries, not at all. Like, this is not a good performance, but certainly what the Cavaliers have done, I mean, the Rockets rather, has exposed that perimeter defense of the Cavaliers right now. And if you filter it all to the bigs, every possession, you're going to bound to get results like this every once in a while. Now, let's see, Jeff, you're in the same spot as me, roughly. They're showing a score bug with the fans. Now they're showing Strus.
Yep. Right up. Yeah, perfect, actually.
Sweet. So can the Cavaliers go on one more run? Even a little 8-0 run to put some doubt in the minds of the Rockets would go a long way. 113-99. We just passed the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter. It's Donovan Mitchell between the circles. He sends it left side to Strus. Needus. Got it. Max Strus, string music from downtown. He makes it an 11-point game.
Max Strus says, give me the basketball. I'm going to bring some help to the table.
Cleveland back to a man-to-man defense. They tried zone 3 straight possessions. It didn't work 3 straight possessions.
Good adjustment.
It's Van Vliet over on the logo. Guarded closely by Mitchell. Van Vliet, he crosses him over, gets in the paint, kicks it outside, right side. Dylan Brooks 3, no. Batted in the air, collected by Strus. Good hustle from Max. Here come the Cavaliers. Mobley with a live dribble. Mobley puts on the floor, goes in on Van Vliet, throws it up. It's no good. He was out of control. Very out of control. Back come the Rockets 2-on-2.
Gotta stop the ball.
To the rim, he's fouled.
Once again, Cavalier defense not stopping the ball. They had a lot of moxie. They showed some prowess on the previous defensive possession, got the rebound. Not sure what Mobley's doing offensively there, and then just can't recover on the fast break. Rockets back to the free throw line again.
And I have to say they've earned their way to the line for the most part.
For sure.
There's been a few that I haven't loved, and Thompson's just 1 assist shy of a triple-double right now, 11, 11, and 9.
Very impressive.
Looking to grab points 12 and 13 here. He does. His brother Asar over in Detroit, maybe not quite as talented, but they play the same way in the regard. They're just some athletic dudes that can D up, rebound. They're smart passers.
I think that the modern NBA and guys like Russell Westbrook and LeBron and people like that have kind of shown. I feel like fans don't really understand how difficult a triple double really is. If I could be mistaken, I don't believe I am. I do not think Donovan Mitchell has a triple double in his career. So
I think that's true.
It's very difficult to get all these statistical categories up into these double digits, and this performance by Thompson tonight has been pretty impressive.
George Niang out of the corner hits the three.
Gets it to go. Heating up from that 3-point line, Logan. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe the 3-point ball is how they win this game.
Down to 10. Niang has 15. You got to give a look at Niang and Strus down the stretch here if you need some triples. Donovan guarding closely on Jalen Green. Green trying to work around him. Goes to the basket, stripped by Mitchell. Saved by Niang. Oh, and Tony Brothers Niang out. Niang's got to cool down. Yes,
he does, especially with 10 points right here. You can't give them technical free throws. Need a simmer here, but Atkinson might want to review.
I don't know if you can review that, though. Was Niang out of bounds when he saved this basketball? That is a lot closer than I thought. At first, I thought that was a bad call, but that's pretty close.
That might be a tough call to overturn as well, especially being called Rockets ball on the court. So
for people who aren't watching, Niang went to go save the basketball on the baseline. When he tossed it back in, it looked like his left foot was hovering out of bounds. His right foot is inbounds by about a foot. The question is, did it leave his fingertips? Because he saved it cleanly to Mobley. Cavaliers were coming the other way off that stop. But did he get it out of his hands before his foot grazed the ground? I couldn't tell on the very first look.
And it's something we've talked about all year. Atkinson, not afraid to use the challenge.
Yep.
Use it. You do not get any points if you go into the locker room and you go, oh, here's my challenge. Hey guys, here's my challenge right here. No, use it. Use it in the fourth quarter. Use it in a high leverage situation. What you're watching right now, Logan, I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to win this challenge.
You think so?
I think we might. I think there might be good evidence. That foot hovered in the air a lot longer than I thought it did initially.
Well, because the athlete that George Niang is.
Well, yes, a decorated Olympian on the gymnastics mat, George Niang.
It was close. I'm curious to see what they come back with. I mean, if the Cavaliers win this challenge, they would get the basketball down 10. If not, they have to play for another stop, which have not been easy to come by in this game.
And lose a timeout.
Yep.
Just one of those.
I like to see this Cavaliers fight. It's just, I feel like the last couple of games we've said that a few times. I love to see these Cavaliers fight. And I sure do. But for gosh sake, I mean, I'd love if we just be comfortably up. And that's not to say the Cavaliers haven't played good basketball. Like I said, the offense is fine. I mean, today, maybe not so much, but the offense has been fine. You put yourself in these holes, though, and eventually you're not going to be able to come back. We haven't had a Cavalanche per se.
Really all things circumstantial. If let's say you go on to lose this game tonight, Logan, all things considered, you're on a 3-game losing streak. Sure. It feels like the sky is falling, so to say, because of what we've done so far this season. But this is a good Rockets team. You've only stubbed your toe against Philadelphia, basically.
Let's see what the call is going to be. Another look at the replay here.
That replay was terrible.
Yeah, you can't go that fast.
If that's what they're looking at in New York or wherever it is, we're cooked.
I give Tony Brothers some credit for not teeing up Niang. I'll say that much. Oh, they're saying Cavs ball. It looks like. Well, I don't know. Where are they standing right now? It looks like they're heading down to the other side.
Come on, Tony.
I can't hear him, so I see him pointing.
Cavs ball.
Tony's still talking to me on my end.
Yep, I'm listening to him.
All right. Cavaliers want to cash us in. Make the challenge completely worth it and get some points out of this possession.
This is your turning point of the game if they come back to win this basketball game right here.
Absolutely. Yep, this is it. Kind of similar to when the Rockets started going on their run again, getting that offensive rebound on a missed free throw leading to a Jalen Green 3. That's These are those little moments in the game that you got to have.
Yep. And if you go down here and mess it up, it's all for naught.
Rockets showing some full court pressure. Now they'll back off as Mitchell has the basketball. He's got to work in the forecourt quickly here. He does. So Donovan into the forecourt. Mobley set the screen. Donovan thought three. Now he drives to the basket, lays it up, lays it in, plus a foul. Elfrin Şengün hit him on the arm, and Donovan will toe the tape to add another.
And as far as I'm concerned now, Logan, it's still a Rockets lead, but their backs are up against the wall. They have the pressure now moving forward. A little bit of a snowball here. Can it transform into a Cavalanche? Can the Cavaliers come all the way back and tie or take the lead in this game?
They went into this quarter down 16, 15, 16,
Minimum.
17, somewhere between there. Donovan with 24. Donovan with 25 as that one dramatically falls
When's
down.
the last time we've swished a free throw? Good Lord.
115, 108, plenty of time. 6:27 to play. Şengün has the basketball just inside the arc on the right baseline. Now he backs in on Mobley across the lane, kicks it out. Dylan Brooks has it right wing. He'll back in on Jerome. Jerome trying to knock it away. Brooks works to the baseline, finds Şengün, 3 on the shot clock. This ball's knocked away by Niang. Şengün got it back, throws it up. No, but Thompson.
Wow.
Right there to lay it in.
23 and a half seconds of stout defense, and Thompson is at the right place at the right time.
Donovan splits defenders, goes
Whoa,
in.
Whoa.
Getting a little chippy.
Let's see how you'll see. Good. I want it to be because I want to see how the Cavaliers respond.
5 fouls on the Rockets in the quarter, 4 for Cleveland. Yeah, gosh, the Cavaliers, you're exactly right. 23 and a half seconds of perfect defense.
Thompson is really something special here, brewing in Houston. He's been a pleasure to watch tonight that's coming from an opponent's team's broadcast.
Both teams are now in the bonus. So Donovan's at the free throw line where he dramatically hits another.
I'm going to start looking away for these tries at the free throw line here.
Yeah, they're a little scary.
It's startling.
The Cavaliers have checked in Jared Allen. They have checked out Evan Mobley. Niang's out there with Mitchell and Allen. Garland currently sitting on the bench. You imagine that Kenny can't hold him much longer.
Cannot.
Donovan, one more coming. Swish.
There we go. Right on time.
117, 110. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. Lots of time. The Cavalier crowd starting to get into it. Van Vliet comes into the forecourt. He's guarded closely by Donovan. He gives it off to Şengün just inside the arc on the left wing. Defended closely by Allen. Şengün looks for a cutter in Brooks. It's not
Good
there.
Deny.
Şengün backs in on Allen. 4 on the shot clock. Şengün turns, goes away from the basket, puts it up, slopped it up there. 24 seconds of, that's got to be a 24-second violation. Ball didn't hit rim. Nonetheless, Cavs play on. It's Jerome left wing. Jerome stops, pops. No.
Gets it back.
Jerome collects it. Left corner 3, Jerome. It's well short. Strus gets in there. Ball's batted around and taken.
Absolute pandemonium underneath the rim, and the Rockets somehow have the ball.
I can't even keep up with it. Rockets have the basketball now. Ahead by 7. 5:10 to play in the quarter. In the game, Şengün foul line. Jay is perfect.
Let me give you an adjective for him. Pesky. He's very annoying, and he makes these shots at very inopportune times.
Jokic light.
Yeah, fair enough.
Diet Jokic. Mitchell, ball fake, got a man in the air. It's Thompson. He fired a 3-pointer. Mitchell's got 3 free throws coming.
I'm going to keep it totally biased. And I'd like to see a review. Hold on.
Did he
I think that's challengeable. Not really supposed to do that. His body going into Thompson. They're not going to challenge it, though. Good for us. I think the Cavs get a break there.
But was it 3 free throws? I couldn't tell. Where
it
ended up.
I think it was. I thought they were going to I thought they were cracking down on that though in the league. Abnormal shooting movements, trying to draw a foul. That's what it seemed like to me. Could be wrong.
Yeah, Trae Young, right?
Trae Young, school of basketball.
Donovan's first free throw is good. I do not know if it's a 2 or 3 point type. It looks like 3, judging by the body language of the guys.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
The lane.
I think it's 3.
Jerome has checked out of the game. Not a great day for Jerome. He struggled a little bit, coming off a 34-point masterpiece against Philly.
Oh my gosh!
Mitchell missed the second.
What's up with us? First of all, Logan, what's up with us having 3 free throws against this Rockets team, and what's up with us not being able to make them all?
It's frustrating.
You lost last game because you couldn't make free throws. That next practice should be hell for these guys. My opinion.
Long.
My opinion.
Donovan, his 3rd free throw.
Şengün's moving early, man.
And Donovan bounces it around and in.
Okay.
2 of 3 at the line. It's 119, 112 Houston, 4:53. And that clock's starting to become more of a factor as we come down the stretch here. Jalen Green closed in on by Mitchell. Mitchell nearly had it, but Şengün grabs it away. Picked it up off the deck. It's Van Vliet. High out on the left side. He gets the foot speed on Niang, throws it up high. And Amen Thompson comes in and dunks it down. That's just great basketball.
Veteran high IQ play by Fred Van Vliet.
Niang, we need it. Niang's got it from downtown. George Niang has got 18 points. And the Cavaliers, this is the closest they've been since the midway point of the third quarter. It's a 6-point game, 121-115. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Van Vliet got the step on Mitchell. Mitchell ripped it from behind. Here come the Cavaliers. Donovan bounce feed. Garland to the basket. Lays it up and in. 4-point game. Timeout, Houston. As the Cavaliers are here. They've arrived. Took a while, but we got a ball game.
You've kind of felt it a little bit all this second half, though. Push a little bit. All right. It's not totally unmanageable. It never got to 25. It never got to 30. It was always 17. It was always 14. It was always 11. Now you make the run. Have they made the run too early? We'll see. You said it in this last possession. The clock is becoming a factor. You have to play really good basketball defensively. Open lobs to dunks is not going to cut it, but the difference is down to 4 points, and the Cavaliers have screamed ahead, cutting this lead very, very short for the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is missed shots are great, but if you can get steals, turn into offense,
yes,
less time comes off that clock. More doubt gets in the head of Houston. Donovan played perfect defense. They're showing it right now on the replay. Donovan is right in Van Vliet's jersey. Van Vliet got the step for a moment.
Too much dribbling.
Little swipe of that ball, took it cleanly, bounced it ahead for Garland, who laid it home.
And we're gonna talk a little bit post game. We're gonna do a little post game show before we sign out here. At the conclusion of this, if you guys want to hang around and stay tuned into that, but an unsung hero of this game, you said it with 18 points, has been George Niang. Has played really well tonight.
Absolutely, we needed every bit of that 18. So Darius Garland, there's that number. Scoring margin within 5 points with 5 minutes or less. Darius Garland, 58 clutch points this season. I believe he also leads the league in, I don't know if it's still true. I know it was true about a week ago. They had the best field goal percentage in the final 5 minutes of 5-point games. We're back. Yep. Rockets, 121. Cavaliers, 117. They come into the forecourt. It's Jalen Green once again, hounded by Donovan Mitchell. 20,562 on their feet. They kick to the corner. Van Vliet, a three. Yes. He hits. And everybody will sit down. It's not 20,562, by the way. That was the old number.
These Houston guys hit shots too when they need to. It's been a great game tonight, I have to say.
Van Vliet has 18 points, all 18 coming from the 3-point line. He's 6 of 8 from deep. Garland got free, fires a three. No, he missed it. Strus bats it out. Mitchell has it. Mitchell on a second chance. Wow. He's long on the three. Garland skies and grabs a third chance for the Cavaliers. Niang to Strus, back to Niang. He's open. George got it. George Niang responds Van Vliet's three with his own. It's 124-120.
2 long rebounds, Logan, and you don't give up on the play. Strus deals it off to the hot hand. Niang again from beyond the 3-point line.
Jalen Green, defended by Niang, picks up his dribble, gives it off to Thompson. Thompson goes back to Green, who drives on Niang. Green, step back three. No,
not a good shot.
For him. Loose ball, and it's picked up by Niang. Cavaliers the other way. Donovan, what does he do? He drives to the basket. Bingo, bango.
Too easy.
Plays it home. 124, 122, 2:35 to play in this ball game and what has been a classic.
We're into crunch time here. 20-9 run in the last 4.5 minutes counting for this Cavaliers squad.
Van Vliet dribbles it on the Cavalier logo. 8 on the shot clock here. Van Vliet works off the screen from Şengün, sends it left side. It goes to Tari Eason. Back to Van Vliet. That's a long three. He missed it. Ball's in the air. Batted by Allen to Strus. Cavaliers get the stop. 2:10 to play. Garland has the basketball. He walks it across the timeline. This crowd's into it now. Can the Cavaliers overcome this deficit? Darius gets the switch onto Jalen Green. Now he calls for another screen from Allen. Darius goes left of it. Darius, the hesitation to the bucket. No foul. Or there was.
There was.
There was a foul.
It was late. It was late. It was late. Can't hear what the crowd noise is deafening.
I was right. Yeah, all this crowd noise here in my bedroom.
I mean,
122.
The open looks have been there, Logan. Another good decision made by Darius Garland. Houston, talk about the tables turning. Houston all out of sorts on the offensive end. Van Fleet jacking up nonsense 40 feet away from the basket. It's back into make your free throws, please.
And Garland does just that. He makes his first. One more coming. 1:51 to play. It's 124, 123. Houston. Cavaliers trailed by double digits going into this fourth quarter. Darius, a masterpiece. 36 points, 13 of 19 from the floor. And he's at the free throw line trying to tie up the game. It's good. I didn't want to say 6 of 6 until he made it. He's 7 of 7 at the line.
He's coming back. He's bounced back. He's saying, hey, look, I know I missed those in the other game. Now we're back. 7 of 7.
We are tied. 124 apiece. Houston with the basketball. Şengün has it out high, defended by Evan Mobley. Şengün puts a shoulder into Mobley, throws it away. It's knocked away. Thompson got it, though. Second chance for the Rockets. Dylan Brooks, right wing, finds Şengün, who's hacked by Niang underneath. It's a good foul by Niang, but Şengün got that position.
Great foul. And they had the entry pass sniffed out. The ball doesn't bounce to them. Somehow it gets back to Şengün down low. He did a good job of sealing off Niang. Niang with a veteran play there. Go make them earn it at the line. Nothing easy here this last couple of minutes.
There's been a couple of pinballs that have just not fallen the way of the Cavaliers this game. That was one of them right there. Şengün, 6 of 11 at the line tonight. His first is bouncing around and in.
Wow. That ball looks heavily inflated.
It looked like it was a brick the whole way there. It bounced off the back rim, off the backboard, off the front rim, off the back rim, and back in. Şengün with 26 points. He's looking for 27. Rockets have the 1-point lead. Minute and a half to play. Şengün, one bounce. Takes his time and lets it go. It's no good. Strus had it, got it knocked away. Rockets have it. Another chance. Jalen Green, 3. No. Rebound. Donovan fights for it. Did he throw it off of Brooks?
I think he threw it off of Mobley.
Oh, they're going to call a foul. I saw the ref signaling a foul.
No, I think I think it's off. I think it was off of Mobley.
I swear I just saw him go like this, like Evan Mobley of the foul. Oh, Mobley. Oh, jeez, he's out of bounds.
Very bizarre.
Just killer though.
Tough play down low, but yep, you can't get the rebound and.
Another offensive rebound and a missed free throw. That happened earlier in this game, and it killed him. Kenny's mad because he thought Donovan got shoved out of bounds. He might have a case. Instead, the Rockets trying to build here. Van Vliet has the basketball. 1-point game, Rockets in front. Minute 15 to play. Van Vliet gets a switch on to Mobley. Now he's on Mitchell. Van Vliet looking around, looking over the defense. 10 on the shot clock. He gets it to Şengün. Şengün on the left baseline. He backs it on Mobley. Goes across the lane with the hook. No, Thompson's there for the dunk. Amen Thompson has been killing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight.
It's been Thompson all night, and the lack of boxing out those last two possessions it wasn't great.
Donovan double clutched in midair. He was fouled. Donovan was fouled from 3.
Wow.
Here we go. Similar situation as the last game in Houston. 3 free throws for the Cavaliers, trailing late in the ball game.
The similarities between this game and the last game have been pretty startling down the stretch here. Dylan Brooks absolutely losing his mind. Him and Donovan Mitchell, that feud may be bubbling over in the back of his head, trying to make a play. Very, very poor decision there from Brooks. Oh my gosh, you missed it, Logan.
First. We've seen this story before, folks. Donovan Mitchell misses the first free throw. Stays a 3-point game. He's got 2 more coming.
I'm not going to believe deja vu here. I simply just can't.
Donovan missed. No. Oh, geez, that rimmed in. That hung on the front rim. Found a way in.
Oh, my goodness.
125. 52 seconds to play. So, nonetheless, the Cavaliers will have to get a stop.
That's a big miss. That's a big missed free throw. That gives all the leverage to Houston. That missed free throw.
They don't necessarily have to score anymore. Donovan, his third free throw is good. He goes 2 of 3 at the line. 127, 126, 51 seconds left. Rockets will move it left to right. Jalen Green comes to the forecourt, wherever you are. Chant defense. It's Jalen Green, defended by Strus. Green off the screen, falls over to the right wing. Now he sings it back out to Van Vliet. Van Vliet looks in low for Sengun. He's matched up with Niang. He spins away. He finds Thompson underneath. Good patience. Throws it up. No foul called. Now it's called. Another late call. It's the right call, but it's a late call.
At some point, you have to think here, the offense is going to run through Sengun, and the ball is somehow going to make its way to Thompson. You respect the play. He looks like a veteran in the league, down low, being patient, didn't rush it, has a triple-double on the night. Let's see if he can make his free throws.
Neato miss. One would be great. Amen makes the first. He's got 20 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists.
And really quickly here, Logan, if you're Kenny Atkinson on the bench, you have to be beside yourself, incensed that you're in the same situation, extremely similar to the last game you just dropped against these guys. You just played them, and you can't make your free throws once again.
And the Rockets, meanwhile, make both. 129, 126. Cavaliers have a timeout, decide not to use it yet. Garland will come into the forecourt. Cavaliers need a triple. They get off to Donovan. He's got a good look for three. It's off the back rim. Rebound to Houston. And things are looking dire now.
Okay, so I understand. You're up against the shot clock. You're up against the game clock. I don't know. It was a good look. It was a good look, but it didn't go in. Didn't fall for Donovan. That missed free throw, though, they're going to be talking about it again. It's going to be the topic of contention, regardless of how the outcome of this game ends up here. There's still time. They have to make their free throws, too. Van Vliet doesn't miss. We'll see what goes on here with the second one.
If you're Kenny, what do? Do you call your final timeout right now? You kind of have to get a shot, but then you set yourself up for some problems if you're able to make a shot. So
right.
130 to 126 reads the score. There's only 25.9 seconds left, folks. If there's a minute and a half, you'd feel okay. There's not. So Van Vliet, this game is going to come down to free throws yet again, as Van Vliet makes the second. 131, 126. Cavaliers will not use that timeout. Darius Garland will let this ball bounce ahead before he picks it up. Now he does. Darius into the forecourt. Garland dribbled it off his leg, got it back, goes to the rim. It's blocked away from behind by Tari Eason. And these Rockets are well on their way to taking this one in Cleveland.
You know what, the only adjective I could find for these three games is really, and it really saddens me to say, it's really just been disappointing. You roar all the way back in this game, and we could talk about the moral victories and the you saw this that you liked and you saw this that you enjoyed, and Niang played good and the guards showed up tonight. At the end of the day, though, yes, could this team have rolled over down 17 on a second night of a back-to-back? Oh, we're cool in the first seed. We're cool being the best record in the league. Sure. But when you roar all the way back and you can't get the job done because of the easiest part of your job function, in my opinion, making free throws, second maybe to a dunk, it should be easier than a layup.
Can you pull up the free throw numbers for me?
In my opinion, good call. Let's get involved here. Logan, I think when we come here, when we come to what I'm about to show you, I don't think they're going to be that bad for the game, but it's just when they have mattered most, it's been really startling. I mean, you've missed 6. They've missed 11, but
40 attempts.
Is this going to be what? Is this going to be? And I'm sure you could do this for a lot of games, but is this going to be 2 losses in a row where you've missed more free throws than the difference? I'm nearly certain that the Philly game was like that.
Yeah, this is
might be 3 games in a row because they lost the first Houston game by 1, and they're going to. I mean, they might lose this game by more than 6, but we'll have to see here how it shakes out.
This is incredibly disappointing. There's no other words really to say it. I'm kind of tired. I wish they just lost by 15. You get so into it and so excited and. Left with a sour taste in your mouth. Well, the next 4 coming up for the Cavaliers. Monday, they host the Pistons, the 23 and 22 Pistons, followed by a 500 Heat team at Miami. So we know how those games go. Then we host the Hawks, looking for a measure of revenge there, followed by the Mavericks. So 4 about 500 teams coming up for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, the schedule gets harder.
3 home games, 1 road game. Chance to right some wrongs against these teams coming up, but yeah, this is a bad stretch here. I mean, once again, 133 points. Take everything else out of it. Take out free throws. Take whatever else out of it. They've given up 133 points tonight. Garland will catch the pass from Strus. He fires a three. It's no good. Thompson, just like the story of the game, collects yet another rebound. Foul on Niang, and this one is all but over.
And he's a stud, Logan. I mean, that's what we've learned tonight as Cavs fans. You know, the Western Conference, you're only going to see these opponents 2 times a year, but Amen Thompson is a certified hooper. You've seen it in 2 games against us this year. He's propelled them to victory here tonight. Another thing I want to hit on really quickly here. Yes, you're down 3 players. You're down the rotational guys. Mobley's getting reintroduced into the fold, but it's not like you're playing bad basketball. You've shot 43% from 3 tonight. Niang has given you one of his better performances of the year. It's reminiscent to the game yesterday where you blow a good Ty Jerome performance. It just leaves a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth when you conduct a comeback and you can't just go all the way and take it all the way home.
Strus will let go of a 3. He'll hit it. 5-point game, 6.5 seconds to go. Is there a Reggie Miller moment in us? Probably not.
Tracy McGrady, anyone?
T-Mac. I'll never forget when I first saw that Reggie Miller moment, because obviously I didn't see it. I don't even know if I was born. I think it was in the 90s, late 90s. Those 6 points in, what was it, like 3 seconds?
Crazy.
It would work out well right now. We need 6 points in 3 seconds at the moment. Not going to happen. And Thompson's got one more coming. You know, that's another thing. I know Strus just buried that 3, right? And I know Donovan and Darius are doing their thing, but Strus didn't touch the ball again. Right? Like when Strus hits 1-3, I want him to touch the ball every possession just to see, just to test it. Because when he gets going, he changes the whole flow of the game. Second free throw is no good. Darius Garland comes forecourt. Garland will lay it in at the buzzer, and that might matter in Vegas. But the Cavaliers fall tonight by a final of 135-131. You can book this one to the Rockets. Cleveland drops 3 straight games, and they're learning a little bit about themselves. We'll see how they adjust. Nonetheless, that's a final tonight, Jeffrey.
Like we said, disappointing. Yeah, you're going through the trials and tribulations that come with a long season. I know that it was mathematically possible, and it's always going to be fun to speculate. But when you're early in the year and you have 2, 3, 4 losses, thoughts creep into your head. You're on pace for one of the best records in NBA regular season history. Sure, that's very all well true. That's very all well still true. You have the injuries crop up. You stub your toe a little bit here, especially in Philadelphia. This game, regardless of the scenario, you would like to split against a Western Conference opponent, especially in the proximity that these games are. You just played these guys. It's not like they were, walking secrets, mysteries wrapped in enigmas. We just saw these guys. You know their MO. It's a Shane Goon show. Van Fleet's super competent. Thompson's a really good athlete. Jalen Green is Jalen Green. Steven Adams allegedly can make free throws all of a sudden. So it's like you said. I think you said it best there to wrap up, the game. They're learning about themselves. They're going to learn about themselves. They have to figure out ways to win, differently, gritty, down guys. And they have this year. But these last 3 games, we talked about it all broadcast. There's just been something a little different. There's just been something a little off here, a little off there. The ISO ball is ramping up into usage rates and, utilization percentages that is a little bit startling to me. It's almost like we played with injuries all year, and it hasn't seemed like we've played like this with injuries. Now, has this been the most injured we've been all year? Absolutely. But it's almost like these past couple of games that we've kind of forgotten, like, hey, we're pretty good. Like we have the depth. We have competent basketball players 1 through 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it a little bit here before we wrap up. But again, unless we're missing something, and no one has corrected us in the chat, where is Jalen Tyson? If he's on a G League assignment, we simply apologize. I don't believe he is.
He was on the bench. I saw him.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of factors here, but you lose 3 games in a row. It's the reality of the situation.
And listen, like, I'm not sitting here saying season's over. Like, the sky is in fact not falling. That being said, we're seeing some things. This team isn't perfect, and I get it. Anybody could have said that, but now to actually see it physically with your eyeballs, it's like,
if you're not noticing, you're not being honest with yourself.
Well, and it's not,
in my opinion.
The problem is, right, losing 3 games happens. That's going to happen in the season, right?
Sure.
But
sure.
you're not losing these games 103 to 100 or 98 to 95. You're losing them 135 to 131 and 132 to 129. Like it's not just rebounds. And it's not, I know we just talked about it. It's not just free throws, right? It's a whole, and I mean this so sincerely, it's 50% of the game that's missing out defense. 50% of it. It's not just a little knack here, a little bit this, or a little bit that. It is a whole factor in winning basketball, playing basketball, defense. And to be honest with you, I don't know what's going on. Like, I wish I had an answer. Yeah. Would it make easier if you had guys go Coro and Wade in the wings to defend them, not let them get downhill, not let cutters? Absolutely. Like, that would have happened. But even LeVert, I mean, I think this is a game where you kind of miss a guy like Karis LeVert, especially when Ty Jerome's not playing well. CPJ gave a few minutes. You would have liked to have another ball handler off the bench that could have helped this team out.
Sure.
So don't get me wrong, injuries are definitely part of it, and I think that's part of the reason that they're giving up so many points. But I think if you're giving up points because a team is making shots, you tip your cap. And
that's one thing.
There was a few of those tonight, but for the most part, great looks. They passed right through it. I mean, that zone defense stretch, I was the most angry I was on the whole broadcast. I was like, come on, man. Like,
the third time was startling.
The first possessions.
Yeah, the third time was weird. You had a chance to make an adjustment there. Let me put it to you like this, and it's a double-edged sword. There's positives and there's negatives to the analysis I'm about to present. To me, you've lost 3. Houston, Philly, Houston. I do not believe, folks out there might think differently. You might think differently. I do not believe any of those games the opponent definitively beat us. We have beat ourselves in these 3 games, down all these injuries and stuff like that. Now, that's upsetting. That's annoying. That's disappointing. That's going to upset us. But at the end of the day, if you could fix stuff internally, you win these games. If Donovan Mitchell makes a free throw, to tie up the game here, it could have been a different outcome. Yeah. If Darius makes his free throws, if you make your free throws against Philadelphia, hey, we might be talking about 3 gritty wins and, the season keeps on humming. It's plays here and there on the margins that, sure, you could fix them and you could go from losing games like this to very well easily winning games like this, especially shorthanded. But when push comes to shove, beating yourself is also something that can be concerning as well.
Yeah. I'm interested in what Bebo said there. We need more than one wing addition. I saw that in the chat. He could be right. I mean, if Okoro can't stay healthy, if Wade can't stay healthy, give me a see. It's hard though, right? Like, you don't want to sit here and say we got to make trades. And anybody that doesn't know, I am the trade guy. Like, I always want to shake up the roster. The best teams in the NBA do, but I think you need a starting caliber wing and a true backup big. I think if the Cavaliers do that, they have every chance to play in June for a trophy. I really do believe that. But if guys, and I guess it's the worst part about it is guys like Okoro and Wade, historically, coming back from injury, take a while to get going. Can't have it down the stretch of the season going into the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the next broadcast we'll do is. This one just kind of sucks. It's our first one we've done, and sure. It was a fun game. It was a fun game for sure. It wasn't my best performance broadcasting. I'm getting used to it again.
I had a great time.
There you go. Look at the standings there. The Detroit Pistons, 6th in the Eastern Conference. Good for them. Good for JB. 4.5 games ahead of the Celtics now are the Cavaliers, 36-9. We're about to enter double. Okay, that's actually crazy. We're about to enter double digits in losses coming up in February. That's a good season. It's just really, really bad stretch. So I would say the last 3 games, we looked every bit as much like the Cavaliers of old.
And I'll put it to you this way, signing off here, and then we'll go on our merry ways. Regarding the trade talk, because I hear you and I understand you, and I think a lot of fans think like that as well. Here, let me put it to you an analogy like this. If you handed me $10,000 and you said you have to bet this money that in a 16-win format in the playoffs to win the finals, 16 wins.
Yeah.
You had to bet $10,000 that Wade, Mobley, and Allen are going to be healthy and available for all 16 games.
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm out 10 G's. That's the way I'm putting the situation. and that's not a knock on anyone. That is being, in my opinion, rational actor, someone who has observed these guys play. That's one of the nice parts about the continuity of the roster. You know these guys. You know Mobley has nagging lower body injuries sometimes. You know Dean Wade struggles to stay on the court for parts of the season. And if that's your three big rotation that you're banking on to carry you all the way to a finals victory, there's going to be questions involved in the making there.
Yeah.
Logan, I will say, I appreciate your professionalism. I appreciate you doing this with me here tonight. Not very often you get a 2 hour and 45-minute stream on the Cleveland Pulse.
Be so bad.
Well, so let's send us home. All right. Wrap us up here.
Cavaliers fall tonight, guys. 135, 131. Not a lot to like and a lot to like. And that's the problem. You don't know what to like at the moment. Cavaliers are going to have a couple of games ahead. We saw it. A lot of 500 teams coming up. 3 out of the next 4 games are at home. Got to right the ship. Definitely hate losing a good game from Garland and a good game from Niang. Sucks just as much as losing a good game from Jerome last night. Nonetheless, we had a lot of fun. I promise the broadcasting will get better as time goes on. I got repetitive, and I hope you guys come back. It's been a while for me.
We'll improve.
Sure. We'll find out what game works for the next schedule. We're going to try to never, ever, ever pick a back-to-back ever again. Second night of back-to-back, I should be clear, because you'll see basketball like that. But with that being said, we appreciate you all being the pulse of it all.